Good Gaming said hello. Stupid Good Gaming said hello.
goodness.
People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target.
Yeah.
And they're not necessarily the same thing. You can make jokes about any subject. It depends what the joke is.
Yeah.
There's no rules. You can't joke about this. You can.
You should be
You
able
just
to.
can.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's nothing sacred.
Well, that's the
really.
point. There's nothing sacred.
In a world where saying the wrong thing can get you canceled faster than you can say woke, Ricky Gervais is the hero we never knew he was. He's like a comedic surgeon, slicing through the nonsense with a scalpel made of sarcasm. Get ready to witness Ricky Gervais tearing woke culture to shreds and laughing all the way to the bank.
Well, when you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course. So this is, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended it doesn't mean you're right. You know, it's offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? You know, so you can't second guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues, and sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But you know, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing nothing. So if you're saying anything,
Let's kick things off with a little reality check from Ricky. Just because you're offended doesn't mean you get to shut down the conversation. Offense is like your Aunt Carol's tuna casserole. Some people love it, some people hate it, and some people are just allergic. But Ricky's right. If we start banning everything that someone might find offensive, we'll be left with nothing but cat videos. And even those might offend dog people.
it depends what the joke is. Comedy comes from a good or a bad place. It's contextual. It's like this big debate about swearing. Is swearing okay on television? It depends. Use your common sense and your remote control. Don't write a letter.
Ricky doesn't just walk the line. He pole vaults over it with a cheeky grin. Apologies, not his vocabulary. The guy's got a point. If you're going to make a joke, make it count. Woke culture wants comedians to tiptoe around feelings.
Don't
But
even
Ricky's
need to
here
boil
remind
it.
us that humor is about pushing boundaries, not tiptoeing over them like you're sneaking out of a bad date.
I stand up. I say, well, you can't say that. You've got to say you don't.
I'm flying!
And I hate when people say that joke was offensive. I gotta say no. You've got to say you found it offensive because it's all about feelings, and feelings are personal. And there's loads of types of comedy, and comedy evolves. You know, there's a new type of comedy at the moment called woke comedy. Right? No, it's very progressive. You know, there are some clubs now where the comedian has to sign a thing saying he won't say anything contentious or he won't say anything that could offend anyone. It's a safe space for the audience. Woke comedy, and I tried to watch a bit of it, and I decided I'd rather watch Louis C.K. masturbate. Can't mention him anymore. He's cancelled.
Woke comedy. Ricky tried it, so you don't have to. It's like going to a buffet and finding out everything's gluten-free and tastes like cardboard. Comedy needs to have an edge, a punchline that makes you think, did he really just say that? Woke comedy is like a joke that apologizes before it even gets to the punchline. No wonder Ricky would rather watch Louis C.K. At least he's still throwing punches.
Oh, women. Not all women. I mean the old-fashioned ones. You know, the old-fashioned women. Oh, God. You know, the ones with wombs. Oh. Those fucking dinosaurs. No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and cocks. They're as good as gold. I love them. No, it's the old-fashioned way. And now the old-fashioned, they're like, oh, they want to use all the toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? The ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns. What about this person isn't a lady? Well, it's her is, you fucking bigot. What if he rapes me? What if she? You fucking turf whore.
Ricky dives into the deep end of the gender debate. And let's just say he's not wearing floaties. The man has a knack for pointing out the absurdities that woke culture tries to pass off as normal. It's like watching someone insist that a square peg fits in a round hole. It just doesn't. And no amount of shouting bigot is going to change that. Ricky's humor here is brutal, but hey, sometimes the truth hurts. And it's freaking hilarious.
Let's have a look at Ricky Gervais.
Hi guys, Triple G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics, So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, it's like a hate crime. It makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. And you don't want that.
The influencers. Ricky's take on them is like a breath of fresh air. If that air was filled with sarcasm and the sweet, sweet scent of reality. The idea that someone who sells detox teas and hair gummies on Instagram should be our moral compass is as laughable as it sounds. Ricky's poking fun at the absurdity of a world where the person with the most followers gets to tell us how to live. And if they threaten to leave the country, well, there's the door.
As it was, I didn't have to worry about offending anyone because it just happened, so... And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own mind up. Right. So... It's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards. Please welcome Ricky Gervais. They go, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant. So I just go, relax. I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner. Jenner, of course, and what a year she's had. Became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers. So, that's a clever joke, and I'll tell you why. Right? It's layered. Now, listen, right? The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude. Then I go, oh, if she's a real woman, I hit with the old-fashioned reactionary stereotype. She must be a bad driver then, right? And the target of the joke is a celebrity killing someone in their car. Let's not forget that, shall we? A celebrity killing someone in their car, running home and putting on a dress. That's the target of the joke, just so we're clear, okay? She was interviewed about a week later at some press conference for a show she was launching, now cancelled. And the press were around and one of them said, what do you think of the Ricky Gervais joke? And she went, maybe I should have loads. Right? And they tweeted that and they atted me in because they want a celebrity feud. You know, it was clickbait, so I rose to the bait, obviously. I just sent back, let her host. Just don't let her drive. Another website that was in the room, Entertainment Weekly, they tweeted a different headline and they atted me in as well. And their headline was, Caitlyn finally breaks silence over Ricky Gervais. I just said that at last. She always breaks too late. I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair.
Oh my god. Don't trash it.
He's joking around. E.T.'s joking with them. Later on, King Victoria would say like, "Oh, it feels like they're kind of mean to him." Barnum was basically like, "I guess you don't really get American joking is a little bit more coarse or whatever." Barnum would circumvent some things insofar as you're never supposed to address the Queen directly, and he became comfortable enough to do it. And then she looked him right in the face and was talking right back to him, and. It was all good.
Alright, this should be the last one.
All right, and he's kind of like oh, what's that little dude who's always like UFC adjacent? He's always that little guy's on Instagram. Oh gosh, remember Mike Tyson once thought he was actually a little boy. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he's like Kazakh or he's like Chechenian or something like that. He's a little Russian guy. Yeah, he's like one of those guys. Yeah. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. No, actually, I was talking about this with Ron Metellus, and he showed me that video with Mike Tyson. Yeah. So yeah, you're not wrong. But he's, hospital. Also, P.T. Barnum is saying that he's like 11. And he is 5. He's still 5. He's 5, but he's also sharp. Yeah. And he's funny, and he's got the timing, and he's doing the dance. Wow, at that age still, man. And so there's this hilarious thing that happens where the guy who is like training, he's kind of their host, P.T. Barnum and Tom Thumb for the Royals. He's the one that tells them all the rules that the rules fall apart with these two shitheads. Of course, yeah. He's like, what do you want? He's 5. It's P.T. Barnum. So. Tom Thumb, he's got little legs, right? And they got this whole fun thing. You know how little you have to be 5 and be considered little? He's got these little legs.
Alright, so this is the same as the last one.
Then they're all, you're all moonwalking out of court. Yeah. And the other guy, the guy that hosts for them, he's probably just eager to get him out of there, and he knows how to walk backwards because he does it every day. So he's fucking flying back. And P.T. Barnum is doing at his own pace, and Tom Thumb is taking these little backward steps, and then he would turn around and gun it, running, and then turn around again, and then he would turn around and backstep. Oh god! And then one of the Queen's poodles comes out of nowhere and starts attacking him. Oh my god! And he's swinging the cane at it, and everybody's laughing. Oh my god! It means he likes you. Yeah. That's not my dog. Yeah. So, I mean, that was like, they were really taking with Tom Thumb. You know, and so a thing
Palat
Warren
9.
Russell deal, even before they
Said
went to Europe,
CHEAP
was
viewers
the
on cut.ly/AWN464.
Time only. Dude. Yeah, Cuban McRib. And so, you know, the same.
Thanks, Apollo TV 9.
Shows are selling out time. And now with this Queen Victoria fiasco, he's rousing success.
I really got to make it so that only followers can chat.
It's now like he gets to meet all of the royals in Europe. He meets the Tsar in Russia, the French king and queen, the Spanish. Like he meets all the royalty, and PT does too. You know? Yeah. Kind of a fucking fish monkey. Yeah. But not anymore. He's found the best fish monkey in town. Yeah, but this is like one of the things where he found Tiny Elvis. Yeah. Tiny's huge. But he comes back to New York as like, it's like Barnum did what? Because at this time too, don't forget, like America is like really taking a lot of their class cues from Europe. Oh yeah. So the idea that this up jump could go and make all this bullshit, put together a cute little act, and then meet all the royals of Europe was nuts. And it was even crazy because, you know, that sort of thing should have been distasteful to aristocratic society.
Cool.
Fucking year, you know what I mean? And you know, he has a wife. He met his wife young. I didn't say that. He's got 4 children with his wife. He met her very young. And in his private life, he's actually quite a pious man. Huh. He's a pious man, but also in his younger days, when he was doing the newspaper stuff, especially, he kind of did that because he saw a lot of revival Christian stuff, and he got all those tents, which are great for service. That's right. But he was big on the Jeffersonian thing of church and state, so he was kind of using that when he was a younger man as an outlet to kind of be like, hey, let's calm down with all the Jesus stuff, because I see it like being like, we don't want to be a Christian state. And so he was used for libel for people that were political opponents. And one time he just did a really kind of a noble thing where he was saying that this one business person was taking advantage of an orphan boy, and he lost the trial where he was sued for libel, and they were like, you pay this money or you can spend 60 days in jail.
Son of a
And
bitch.
he took the 60 days in jail, and he knows that he can write the whole fucking time because he's a newspaper guy. And when he gets out, there's like a fucking marching, and like people are like, look at the balls on this guy, you know, and he's just being like, freedom of the press, dude. Like, and they also thought like, you know, they saw him standing up to injustice, but that's the first time he's kind of the star himself. Sorry, I should have coming up to that, but
Punk.
you know, he's trying this thing where all of these things are based on morality,
You little bitch.
showmanship, and he's fine with letting them commingle, you know? And he'll only really back away from it if he thinks it'll hurt the show. And that almost happens in his next big act, which we'll get to after this break. Be right back.
Okay, I think I found a pretty good way to figure this out.
And we're back. Hey.
And that is to do like this.
So, I just want to say a bit about Tom Thumb. He would change the attitudes towards supposed freak shows because you weren't really getting just a freak show. He was able to play particular roles in these melodramas where Barnum would have to be the main character and then he would do like a full play. Like Barnum, I think, was paying him $13 a week and then would just double it. When he wrote to Friends, he could not expound enough on how talented. Tom Thumb would have been more famous than any actor living in the world at that time. I mean, he's winning all the fucking royals, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and cinema isn't a thing, you know? Queen Victoria, you know, went back to see him in London, introduced him to the 3-year-old future king Edward VII, you know, who was probably bigger than him. He was,
John Wilkes Booth wasn't famous yet.
That's right, yeah. Or his dad. It wasn't, I think when he was 13, he was 2'5". Yeah, he was a little man. So yeah, he kind of transformed attitudes towards freak shows. He met the explorer John Palliser.
Who's that?
John Palliser, he was on, he was a geographer and explorer. He was Irish born, and he saw Tom Thumb on that voyage also donate to a fund for the victims of his family. Ongoing time. So he must have really. He was a big Western Canada guy. Yeah. So yeah, he was, you know, fucking. He wormed his way in, you know, via Barnum, of course, into like processions down the Champs-Elysees, like freaking like, it was like a royal procession. They got him out there fucking waving at everybody, you
He's
know.
the Grand Marshal of the Macy's.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, and crowds went ape shit
He's
for
standing
him.
at the top of wedding cakes for royals.
And what's gonna happen in this time too is like when these phenom types of entertainers show up,
Oh no, that was.
it's like Beatlemania. You know what I mean? Like it's like they're outside the hotel, like crowds just all night screaming. Yeah. And you just fucking, you know, blow bubbles out the window.
What's going on? Is it a lynching? No, it's Tom Thumb. Even
Yeah.
better.
The general. But yeah, he came back to New York and he would still just sell out shows, and after a while he just kind of goes on his own because Barnum has wind of the next thing the royals in London were going apeshit about, which was the Swedish monarchy. This is a character because this is an officer. Okay? And she's described as being a bit of a prima donna, but also.
Oh yeah, this was before.
Yeah.
Very prima donna.
Yeah, very good. She was a very religious woman. Very beautiful, tall, but like, people were like, that nobody has ever sang before. And it gets to a point on some of her tour with Barnum where like the applause just never stops. Like people are just standing ovation going.
Is she breaking glasses with her voice or anything like that?
No, it's just it kind of matches. It's like half her personality, which she portrays. It's like it's an angelic quality, and she dresses very plainly. She's not really into all that fame and stuff like that, but she realizes that she can make all of this money for charity. So that's like part of her signing with Barnum, is he's just willing to pay the highest price. And when she eventually, like, he has to send an upfront like $300,000.
Man, I probably won't even have to do anything.
Yeah. And then there's a salary. And then it will be renegotiated for more, and Barnum will still see. Because he sees like, oh, there's like merchandising. There's like, he has other ways to
Funko
make.
Pops.
Yeah.
Bobbleheads.
Right. He's trying to pay. He's got other ways to make money.
Wipe your ass with a nightingale. Every day.
And they would get along quite well. He would end up in Cuba with her at one point, and she was like, he would have him playing catch with her and stuff.
Baseball catch?
Yeah, because Cuba, you know what I mean? You know. And
Cash for curveball.
Oh, cool.
The Swedish thing.
Lind, like the chocolate.
Land.
Oh, I am.
Yes. I think I have a picture of him there. Oh, throw her up there.
Had you heard about her before?
I had not,
I don't know
no.
anything about her.
Okay. Yeah.
Seemed nice.
And
Nice lady.
everybody would really fall in love with her, but it really seemed as if, and in all their time together, it really just was a friendship. And he, long before she even got here, after he signed her, he was just being like, this is next level shit, everybody. Like, get ready. Like, you've never heard, this is the most incredible vocal performance on earth. And she met him finally, and thousands of people were there. Thousands.
Just for her arrival.
For her arrival.
And did he publicize?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Probably charging tickets to show at the dock.
Yeah, and then they
He
just
bought the dock.
again they stay outside the hotel and are just going apeshit all night, and they're playing music for her. People are outside just like, fucking buskers.
We
and
heard
stuff.
you like music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And she meets him and she says, "Where did you see me sing?" I've never heard that. And she was like, "How could you possibly put so much money into something that you?" He's like, "Just reputation alone." And he wasn't wrong, So this is the next tour, and some of these things, shit really gets out of hand. Like there's things where like he sells too many tickets and the standing room only people are in there, and then people don't get to the seats, and then people are like ripping each other's clothes off, and
And then he charged a ticket for that.
exactly. Stage 2. But yeah, Queen Victoria went to every performance in London she did 16.
What?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Him and Tom Thumb would do 2 shows. But yeah, she she ends up eventually she'll separate from Barnum and kind of go on to do her own thing. She really was kind of conflicted about even being a performer because some of the more rigid Christians were like, theater is bad,
Right. Yeah.
and even in
Meanwhile, church is theater.
right, yeah, and
Well, it makes a good church.
it makes church look really boring, which I don't like it. It's really fucking interesting too because she's getting money to send back to Sweden to make music schools, orphanages, all that stuff, and then she's maybe thought at some point in the tour to give to an abolitionist cause, and that becomes a cure. And
An American abolition.
yes, and that's one of the times where Barnum has to be like, no.
Slave owners by Reeboks too.
Even though he's going towards abolitionism himself,
He's proto-politicking going.
yeah,
I don't want to alienate half my base.
right. And this was an evolution for him too, because he had said something like on his way back to Tom Thumb. He'd been talking to Scottish people about slavery, and he made some comment like, any like staunch abolitionist is worse than like slavers.
He said that?
Yeah, Barnum said that.
It was a pretty common
Both
belief
sides. Yes.
among Northerners back then.
Yeah, they were
that
like
the-
considered like the libs. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no,
they're-
abolitionists were bad. Was a bad word to Northerners.
To Northerners?
Absolutely. And they were a lot of Northerners were anti-slavery.
But they didn't want to change abolition because that was too radical.
It was just like it was it's like how you think about vegans. That sort of thing.
Okay.
Like,
Like, I understand, but shut up about
but
it.
you're
Yeah,
annoying.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now I get it.
Right. But yeah, he was paying her after the initial down payment $1,000 in 1850.
Wow.
Which is real wild. And I think maybe in the upcoming episodes we'll have On a chart.
We'll have a calculator up so we can see.
$1,000 a night?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah. And part of him getting the down payment up front, I think he was like $6,000 short. And he went to a minister, and he was like, "This will be good for American morality," and that's something that he's actually going to push. Like, Barnum is really
I wonder if I need to cover this area.
idea of going to the theater, because in New York at that time, going to the theater was kind of fucked up. There was
until 1988.
no, I mean, like there was like hookers in the balcony. You know what I'm saying? Like it was.
Yeah, it was
a seedier thing.
And traditionally throughout history it had been because
Right.
it's cheap entertainment for the masses.
Right. But also, the purists in there didn't want Barnum really making it kid friendly either. They didn't want it to be Disneyland because like the purists also thought like, well, you're ruining the theater. But he really
Part of
wanted
the theater is the audience.
He really wanted families to be able to go, and he'll start going towards temperance, things like that too. And he really, like I said, was a pious person. When his grandmother was dying, he stepped on a rusty nail. And she got all of her children around, and she just told them all how she was okay with dying because she believed in the Lord and all this stuff, and it really made an impression on him. And so, it's funny for a guy that seems like such a fucking scoundrel and scumbag. He really, you know, he never cheats on his wife. You know, there's nothing like that. Although when he was in Spain, he wrote to his wife saying something like, "Oh man, if I wasn't such a good guy, I'd be in trouble here with these ladies because they are gorgeous."
Yeah. That is
Sending that across the ocean to your wife.
I would do that. Yeah,
It was a drunk text. It just took 3 weeks.
But that is you know, the guys that do cheat on their wives, you don't say those things.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just nobody thinking about you.
Yeah, I'll
Dick's
I'll
still wet.
Like, you know, Marcella's in SAG, and so she gets all these like, oh, there's a screening of this movie with a Q&A with the cast, and we got one for there's a movie with Elizabeth Olsen. And she's like, you wanna go? I was like, oh yeah, is Lizzie gonna be there? Yeah, is she gonna be there? Lizzie. Elizabeth Olsen.
That's what he calls her. He's close. He's close.
And I was like, oh yeah. And I sent her hard face emojis and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And that's it. I imagine that's the cool. It's a cute thing to be like, oh yeah, Elizabeth Olsen. Oh my god. Come over the behind stage, you know,
Yeah.
it'd be handy. So it's, I think that's the love
You
language.
would give her a hand. Come on. She's not gonna give you one.
Whatever she wants.
But yeah, so this
It's a cute thing. It's a cute thing.
Yeah.
This minister gives the final $6,000 needed to get the deposit together, and yeah, when she gets to New York, there's 14,000 people on the dock.
And by inflation, that's even more. I looked it up. $100 in 1850 is about $4,000 today.
So and he shoots
Did
it
her
1,000.
So it's 40,000.
$40K a night.
Yeah. And sending it all to charity, and then donating to charities here. But also, he also had to speak against this donating to an abolitionist cause because there was upcoming dates in the South as well, right? And so that's
Timing. Nightingale.
that story had already gotten out. And so for the first time in her life, like, she got to some places and there was like hissing. She had never like had that before. And so, and she was like she was a nervous kind of person. Like, she was highly feminine in this very like, oh, I don't know if I can way. You know what I mean? But that, like, she like got the fucking fire in her eyes, and then she belted out this performance and fucking destroyed.
And they're like, I think we're against slavery now.
Yeah.
You melt their faces like the art.
It's like Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Like the thing.
Okay.
Like I said, she'll split off with them. She'll kind of go with like a different management thing. They part on good terms.
Yeah, $40,000 a night will do that to you.
Yeah, and I assume maybe she thought she could have made more, and she probably could, because I think he just ended up getting a managerial fee of like $5,500 or something like that. But
You gotta be serious.
Hey, wait, it's what, 25 cents? Maybe it's $1 now at this point for a ticket.
well, it's appealing to the loftier classes, and he knew that was a thing you also had to do because those people read, so they can read newspapers and see your ad.
Right.
That's another thing
And they
too.
have money to spend.
And they have money to spend, exactly. So he knows kind of what to do there. And he kind of seeks the approval of the upper classes. I mean, he's met the fucking queen, so I don't know what he's still seeking approval for, but he kind of would and always will, even though he never takes it too seriously or kind of, I guess he just stays fun, you know what I mean? He never ever becomes like too snooty, even though he makes a lot of money. Yeah, and he always keeps doing something. But the thing about this episode where I was really awe-inspired was, as it goes along, like I said, she's donating to causes here that matter. And again, like orphanages.
And she's not a national. She's Swedish.
Yeah. But she's like, I'm making all this money, and
Might as well give it back to the place where I'm getting it from.
Exactly. And as it went on, he's already a known entity, right?
He's already a known entity.
And she is making all these huge donations, and everybody's going, "What about Barnum? Where's his fucking donation?" And he's like, "Sorry, right?
I'm paying her, idiot.
Yeah.
I think I will not. I probably don't even need these.
Yeah. And
These.
it's your money. And he goes on and on and on, and
I'll keep them.
the whole time. And newspapers, you know, it's great because they can exalt her and tear him down.
And it's all good for him.
Yeah.
But privately, she's going, "Why are they doing this? You give just as much as I do." And he goes, "I put it all in your name." And he goes, "Because what makes you look better than standing next to a scumbag?" And I was like, "No fucking way!" Sometimes he gave more than her.
He's not the hero we need.
Yeah.
He's the hero we deserve. Right? Or the other way around. He's not the hero we deserve. He's the hero we need right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be the bad guy.
Yeah. And to the
But I'm also a
but
good guy.
This is the thing of like, I do not care what the papers say about me. It's good,
I
right?
got some chills.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Give me up.
God, I got the chills.
Yeah.
I got chills too.
My jaw was on the fucking floor when I heard that. I was like, wait, what?
Oh,
It's like, I'm this deep into the biography, and the accusations throughout the tour just keep coming. Like, why won't he do anything? And then
Spicer.
And then finally they drop it on you like, oh no, he's been given the whole time. You gotta give!
he gives. We all give. That is
It is
exceptional.
unbelievable. He's like, I'm gonna make you look better.
I'm going to alleviate my conscience.
Which-
I'm going to satisfy my fate.
And I'm gonna put aside my ego, which is considerable.
Yeah.
And because it just makes you look better and better and better. Like, it is.
The worse I look, the better you look.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also he puts it all in her name. So it looks like
Doubling her goodness.
or more.
But it also doesn't alienate them
The
from
audience to her.
or to the show in general, because it's not two goody two shoes showing up
Exactly.
saving the world. You go like, look, I know he's not the best guy.
Yeah, and it also means you get this much more space in the newspaper.
Exactly.
But they're just talking about
Exactly.
what a scumbag Barnum is, and now
We're covering 2 whole pages.
And he's
Half of the paper is what a bad guy I am, half is what a good guy you are. The whole thing is about us.
and for all we know, he or people who are working for him are writing editorials for the newspaper going, how come Barnum never gives?
yeah,
Oh, man, why can I not put one here?
Brilliant.
it is. It's fucking insane.
I mean, it's like it's so efficient. Like it's I'm doing advertising and I'm donating to charity, which is a tax write-off, which is also like I feel an obligation to do it.
it also keeps her tied to him.
Yes.
The next promoter might not.
Isn't that the next one will not?
Yeah.
The next
Ever
one
since-
will not dream of doing
Yeah.
it.
Ever since she stopped working with Barnum, She hasn't been given shit.
Yeah. It blew my fucking mind.
That's it.
I want to stop there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep it short because I think we have done Barnum Begins.
No, dude. Are we doing the Bark Night after this?
The Carnival Bark Night. Yeah. Maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll
look into it.
That was. I mean, this is like a full life with a lot of episodes and a lot of fucking.
It's not who you are on the stage. It's what you do that defines you.
Yeah.
I'll have another quote for the next one.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's such a complicated life because there's the public. Private life, very much different. But there would be such a steady stream from, like I said, like the New York Herald throughout.
Whatever, man.
In a way, like somebody like a Trump or whatever would get. And it's amazing that it never cost him his head. You know what I mean? Because that kind of hate can build up over time. You know what I mean? And also, he's doing open exploitation. It's not like it's a fucking hidden secret. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if it doesn't serve the story, he doesn't need to let you know. And
that it shows it shows discipline.
Yeah.
And being measured.
Yeah.
And just a careful curation of everything. It's like The Prestige or the Magician that you did a few weeks ago. Like it's all part of the show.
Right.
I got the glass bowl between my legs and The Prestige and walking to my carriage. Like, it's all part of the show.
Part of the run-up to her being part of this stuff was like, I spent this much on getting this over here. This is what I'm putting in. So like, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and of course maybe inflate the numbers. You know what I mean? Whatever. And he doesn't. He certainly doesn't let a crisis go to waste. He will manufacture a crisis to exploit it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it certainly seems like from a young age a very good understanding of the inner psyche.
It's crazy, and really understanding to let the audience do the imaginative work.
Yeah, they'll do the heavy lifting for you.
Yeah, with the Fiji Mermaid, with Joyce Heth, it's like the Joyce Heth thing is.
What do they want to believe?
Or what do they want?
Right.
The country's still young with Joyce Heth. It's like it's taking them back to the before Washington, before they had the country,
before we were civilized.
You know what I mean? And it's and it's like an old lady talking about a sweet boy that turned out to be great and start our nation. So it's like it's putting them in a time and place, but their imagination's doing all the work.
I wonder, and you can tell me to hold off on this is also right now. It's very singularly East Coast and South. I wonder, what are people thinking in what is the classic Old West? Is that something that we're gonna touch upon, or did he never get out there?
I think a lot of those states were still coming into the Union.
A lot of those territories.
Yeah, and it was still land. So yeah. Still really good.
Because if he did go out there, they might.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
It'd be more like
Oh, I have been muted this whole time. Alright, so
Position, and I was pretty impressed by the introductory portion of the game. That's all it had you play. And it was one of those games where I would like to go back and play more of it, but no, to answer your question more bluntly, I haven't gotten into Dragon Age the way I did, like, Mass Effect.
Fresh.
I'm a massive
Snap.
Mass Effect fan. So,
okay, so fresh.
as into Dragon
Fresh.
Age.
Okay, so that means
Really the space settings and
that's what this is.
Age 3 is Dragon Age on your list? Has it been on your list in the past? Is this one?
And then oh no, my armor needs to be
I had no idea that I mean, it kind of just drove you into the story, so I was like, oh yeah, right, this stuff, this person, and I fell in love with it. I did not like games like this. I think I chose to do more normal combat, but it was also my first time having that weird like hybrid combat.
All right. Let's see. No cam.
Real like foray into it, and I ended up really loving it. I thought the different story paths were really cool. Well, I also like Mass Effect. It's so weird because I don't like Skyrim and I prefer Fallout, but in terms of Bioware, I love both. Like it's so weird because I know usually it's like one or the other, but I love Mass Effect. I love Dragon Age. I am very excited for this. I'm very excited for the story continuation of Inquisition. Also, I know that
Fits.
Alyssa and
Nature's
Kat
lollipops.
pointing out, the hair graphics look so good, and I love it. It looks so good. So I'm personally very excited to spend 2 hours in character customization and then playing the game.
Yeah, we've got a whole piece on that as part of our IGN first, actually, the character customization. So don't miss that. In fact, Alyssa wrote our
Okay.
preview from this general preview event. We have a preview that's been up for a week, so check that out. That was our exclusive first hands-on, and a bunch more of us, including Alyssa and myself, that will play it. That preview is on IGN now as well.
Oh, good.
So don't miss it if that game is of interest to you. But today our headline topic is another EA game, by sheer coincidence, and that's Battlefield. So interesting story on Battlefield this week, another exclusive on IGN. So Vincent Pella, who of course had a Respawn, founder of Respawn, has now worked his way all the way up the EA ladder and is running a lot of EA, not all the divisions, but he's one of the higher ups these days. And Vince was talking to IGN, to the aforementioned Kat Bailey, about the next Battlefield game, confirming it's going to be a modern setting for this one, so not a 2042, not a
Nice and clean.
and not going back to World War I or II. The first concept art was shown to us as well. That's on IGN right now. And here's part of Kat's story. He says, ahead of its Investor Day this past week, EA revealed fresh details on its untitled Battlefield game alongside its first official concept art, which IGN can exclusively reveal for the first time. IGN also confirmed the Battlefield will be returning to a modern setting after stints in World War I, World War II, and the near future. While EA is cagey about specifics when it comes to the concept art, including declining to name the city where it's set, although we had noted it looks a lot like Italy, France, or somewhere else in Europe, it does include details that should stand out to longtime fans of the series. Among other things, it appears to suggest that ship-to-ship combat, and helicopter combat will be in the game, and that it will feature natural disasters like wildfires. The spray of color scheme is evocative of Battlefield 4, which remains one of the most popular games in the series, despite being released a decade ago. All of it points back to a back-to-basics approach for the next Battlefield, and indeed, the aforementioned Vincent Pella is quick to shout out Battlefield 3 and 4, in the course of sitting down with IGN to talk about these new reveals. On the decision to return to the modern era, Zampella says, quote, I mean, if you look back at the peak or the pinnacle of Battlefield, it's the Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 era where everything was modern. I think we have to get back to
This is moderately terrifying!
Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 days, so I think it's nostalgic for players, for me, for the teams, even as well. Those are kind of a heyday, although I would say 1942 also. Let's see how the course is going. start with still run this one. A resident FPS expert and a competitive super player. Stella, like, we know Battlefield is not at the peak of its powers right now. Like, how do you feel about Battlefield? What do you want to see from the next game, and what does it need to do to get back to the top of the heap?
So, just because I did review Battlefield 2042, which I think was my second review ever, I do remember giving it a 7. I did waver between like a 6 and a 7, but really the reason why I gave it a 7 was because of the recording feature, which allowed you to create a Battlefield experience from like any of the previous Battlefields, which is really cool. But I think that's the strongest point, going back from the original, like, previous versions as opposed to this new version.
Taking a look.
Which is not really what you want in a game. And so hearing them say that they're going to go back to the basics, to what makes Battlefield is very promising. And I'm a little bit, I think, hopefully they know what that back to basics is, because they forgot, if they didn't add classes to Battlefield 2042, which is kind of a big deal, a lot of people were like, well, what's the point? They can play whatever I want. I think that created quite a bit of a divide with players and me as well, because it just felt like there was no real specific reason to play a certain person. So it was really interesting because we know from previous Battlefields and classes, which really made me feel like that was so there was like disconnect as well. So this makes me feel happy. I feel like we just see what they're going to do with the modern baseline, because we know what they do with Call of Duty, and Call of Duty also now has a big team battle mode, which, you know, they want to try to pull players from Battlefield. But the thing is, Battlefield is the best at doing big team battles. So if they can pull back the basics from their first two games, I think they could do really well. Players from a massive map of other players. So I think it's a good idea to go back to what makes Battlefield Battlefield. But I think a lot of players are very don't remember what that is.
From a market sort of economy perspective,
Prepare yourself! Large insect incoming! Large orc incoming! Oh, huh. That's interesting.
Hey, Fid.
incoming!
well. Again, I don't know what else to say. Stella Destin, if you've got anything, feel free. If not, we can keep going. Because
I've heard based on other reports that morale's really low at Microsoft and the Xbox branch right now, given the fact that this is the third or fourth round of this. Yeah, and it's also impacted which branch is the Call of Duty mobile branch? I believe it was the Warzone branch, and the mobile World War
Son of a bitch.
game, I believe, were impacted. So, yeah,
Oh my god.
unfortunate, and clearly it's going to take a toll internally. It's really, really frustrating because Microsoft is a $1 trillion company. They know that you have to invest in your people.
Oh, I didn't mean to bother you.
In order to see success.
Burn your feet,
I don't expect that's what's the long-term goal here. Nintendo has success because they put their people out on the table. Going to management and play. So,
yeah, and I would only add to your example there that Nintendo, you mentioned, yes, Nintendo's seen success, and Nintendo Switch, the last 10 years, Nintendo's been rising as high as they've ever ridden. But the 4 years before that were like 4 horrible years for Nintendo.
Yeah.
The Wii U, when the Wii U just was a miss. The Wii U was a flop.
it was probably one of the biggest problems.
Okay, so not only will this be the last one, but also
Which I'm glad you brought up, that was specifically cited as well. It wasn't as big of a hit.
I'll be able to get the
Like those are the ones that hurt to read as a
Taking a look.
gamer and somebody that covers the industry.
Only made $10 million. We wanted it to make $100 million, and that's what we projected for it. So yeah, it's like okay.
It's gotta really hurt if you worked on it. You're like, well, my thing's a hit, but it wasn't a big enough, which is just like probably makes you want to slam your head into the nearest wall.
We got to Stella and I got to go play that at Activision. It's good. Like it's
Yeah, they were.
optimized quite well.
It always really sucks because you talk to someone who is clearly very passionate about their project, and they brought a lot of different things to a mobile game, a mobile FPS game, which was huge, and it really.
Alright, let's see how this goes.
To arms! To arms!
I'm glad they have
Where's my hamburger?
through internal risk assessment for those
I spy.
It seems like they're a little bit more upfront about it because they had invited some of the public in.
Yeah. I know that it's not moving forward. Based on what I saw, it wasn't received particularly well. So sometimes that's the best time to do it. Like, that's the
then laying people off, now they can not lay the people off and start on a new idea, right?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, man.
Watch out, roly-poly rolling in.
There we go. Got it.
It's not my usual type of day, but who knows? I was also not into Civ, and here I am.
Yeah, I'm glad. If this is the case where I think relaunching it as a platform that they can just build and add to over time rather than just rebooting it as Skate and then doing potential Skate 2, Skate 3 down the road, like this, I feel like this use case could make a lot of sense the way they're approaching it. Destin, is Skate on your radar at all?
Yeah, I actually actually saw this posted the other day, and I was like, oh, cool.
Okay, so now I can go to that other place.
Simulation-based skating game that, when you got really good at it, there were clips going around, like back in the 360 days, of people doing insane stuff that you just shouldn't be able to do in that game. So I am very excited to see what they wind up landing on with this one, and I, like, because it's so easy to do now, I can't wait to see all the crazy tricks and such that come out of EA's Skate 2025 project.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the really key differentiator between this and Tony Hawk, although Tony Hawk series seems pretty dormant for the moment, though.
Well, Tony Hawk had an announcement recently also, so there was that.
What was Tony? I totally missed that. What was it?
I think he like indicated that maybe Tony Hawk is coming back. Let me Google it really quick.
Good, because I mean, I was just gonna say, now that Microsoft is driving the bus, and I would not be surprised at all if Microsoft wants to get Tony Hawk back up off the ground and get that cooking again. And
Tony Hawk teases Pro Skater anniversary plans. It will be something the fans will truly appreciate. That was the news story we ran, and that was an interview with BBC where he said, "I wish I could tell you more, but I can tell you that I have been talking to Activision again, which is insanely exciting. We're working on something," Hawk said. That is the first time I've said
Fitz,
that publicly.
nature's
It will be
lollipops.
something fans truly appreciate. So I don't know what they're cooking up. I don't know if it's like a remake of the OG games, but
well, they did that.
Well, they did that, but like maybe it was
3 and 4.
Yeah. What were the later ones that were super popular? Maybe Underground, I think, was one that I really enjoyed. I remember 1 and 2 were like just the biggest thing in Planet Earth when they were out. But I really got into Underground, and that's when you could do the little up-down trick and really get your combos very early. So I don't know what he's cooking up, but it is really interesting to see this revival of skate games, like skateboarding games, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's strange to me because that both of these went away, because like skate culture has never gone away. It's been healthy and thriving for decades. I mean, it is strange to me that the video games have not really kept up. But
I hope they bring back the board for a while. Remember that, Ryan?
Oh yeah. I wonder if those are worth any money now, because that flopped pretty badly, and like. I remember when IGN got ours. That was like the dying breath of the series for a while when they tried that. But yeah, Tony Hawk was always the more arcadey game, and Skate was always leaned a little bit more on the realistic side. So we'll have to see if new Skate sort of keeps that sort of more realistic tilt alive. But yeah, it's been a long road. 2020 they announced it, so we've already known about this thing for 4 years. I mean, I do give them credit that they have been very transparent with the community along the way, but hopefully it'll live up to the old ones, because if this doesn't do well, then EA will probably shelve Skate forever. We'll probably never see it again. So I hope it's good and deserves to succeed, and then if it deserves to succeed, I hope it does succeed. But it's going to have been, by the time this drops in early access, it's going to have been 5 years since it was announced, and even longer that they've been working on it. So long road for this one, but we're getting there. We got this play test coming up sometime in the next few months.
Just keep grinding, EA. Just kidding. Joke. Okay.
Oh, thank God, there's only like 6 minutes left in the show. You are allowed to make dad jokes. You're a dad. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I know what I wanted to do. So yesterday I put out the call on Twitter. I was saying, hey, our topics are a little thin this week. Is there anything that you guys want us to talk about? And there were some good suggestions in there.
Okay.
I feel like it's kind of run its course. Like, we did it for many years. The fact of the matter is, I hardly get any suggestions anymore, which is
one question because I don't know the answer. I never looked it up.
Okay, maybe this is just one song from Launch Block Trivia. Abdel from the Netherlands, whose gamer tag is Abdel114, asks, what was the code name for Microsoft's Xbox One reveal event from May of 2013? Was it Project Testis, Project Newcastle, Project Infinity, or Project Apex? And Destin, since you seem so hot to try, I'm going to go to Stella first on this one.
Okay.
So the internal code name, Stella, for the Xbox One unveil event. Microsoft likes to do project code names.
I busted out my Project Scorpio the other day.
Okay.
Okay. Alright. Destin, your thoughts?
My instinct was to go for Apex, but all the names are like Testis, Count Testis, Newcastle is a gear, Apex is a game, Infinity is the only one. I'm like, it's too on the nose. Maybe Apex for like the height of what they were trying to make. I'll go with, I'm down to C or D. I'll go with D. We'll see what happens.
Apex?
Ryan's so sad though. Maybe I should change it. No, that's
Well, I liked your train of thought there, Destin, as you kind of analyzed what each of those names kind of indicated. But your train of thought did stop at the wrong station, I'm afraid.
Which was it?
Stella, you have won the final Xbox trivia question ever.
Which was it?
Project Newcastle. Yeah,
The beer. Okay.
it's Project Newcastle.
Why Newcastle? Why?
I don't know.
Is that the... Oh, no. This is fine.
With Windows, they would always do, the code names would always be cities. Of course, we had the Doll, which was a city in Brazil for Connect. Durango was Xbox One.
That's right.
Yeah, there's been lots of cool Xbox code names over the years. I mean, Xbox itself was a code name. It just happened to stick. So yes, Abdel, thank you very much. And let's see here. How many do we got? We have just a couple minutes. Quick round table, just because I brought this up. I don't want to bring it up and then leave it hanging. Jimmy Pycroft on Twitter suggested this quick topic. We'll just rapid fire. What's your favorite poorly reviewed game? Like a game that didn't review well, but you really like. So he says, Crackdown 3 and Alpha Protocol. Because I like
I wonder if I got any of those cards.
This got me thinking. So I have a good one for this, but and I can go first if you guys need time to think.
Nope.
Destin, does one come to mind?
I've only killed 270 of them. Why would I have a gold card?
Black Ant working away here.
And so did GameSpot, Polygon, and one. Just the one that gets all the credit for it. But that's I maintain that game was a great 4 to 5 hour game, except for the part that it was an 18-hour game. It felt like Sega, who was the publisher, told Creative Assembly, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is playing the game. This is what the takeaway I was left with. That Sega said,
I spy.
this is a great 4-hour, concept vertical slice that you've got here, guys. But we can't charge $60 for a 5-hour game. You've got to make this longer. So that's when they added the androids and the ending's terrible. I would also maintain, if you say you love that game, did you actually finish it? Or did you just play for 4 or 5 hours? Because you stopped after 4 or 5 hours. I can totally see why you say you loved it, but
I'm not scared.
yes, I was not scared.
The queen's around here somewhere.
Like narrative action adventure with a story written by Orson Scott Card. Destiny loves sci-fi. Phenomenal sci-fi story in this game. Really, really great story. And the character progression, it's one of those games where you get
Where am I trying to go, dude?
and you really get a good sense of that, and then the game translates that into the gameplay really, really well. It ran horribly on the original Xbox. Like, it was playable, but it just wasn't. The frame rate was bad. It was just not a good technical experience. I did double check because I remember I reviewed it and I think I gave it a.
I've killed almost 300 red worker ants.
Landed at 68 on that game, so I think that counts as a not super well reviewed game. But Advent Rising, that's the one that comes to mind for me.
I'll say Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, that's a good one. Wait, which one though? The modern one?
Yeah, the modern one. That one wasn't very good, right? The very first one.
The first one was, I just remember everybody was kind of upset that it was pretty bare bones.
And it was just Battlefield with Star Wars skin. And but I liked it. I played with my friends. But it was fine.
Yeah.
That's because I didn't have extent of like people were like, oh, the original Battlefront was so good. So
I'll report back. All right, we'll hold you to that, Destin. For our producer Red, along with Stella and Destin. Podcast Unlocked episode.
Oh, I've already been here, dude.
I'll be a year older on next week's episode. That's weird to think about, but hopefully a year wiser as well. Thanks everybody, and we shall see you next week.
I wish my monitor had a remote. It might have one, I don't know. No! It's a pretty gross sound effect. Alright, let me see if there's any more podcasts for me to listen to.
I was really trying to be healthy. Come on. I'm gonna eat an egg.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Nextlander podcast. Every butt's in a seat, every seat's in a saddle, every saddle is on a podcast and the horse. That's what we're here to do. Rodeo time here at the old Nextlander Ranch. Alex Navarro, yippee-ki-yay!
Yeehaw. It's very fun to watch you try and morph a metaphor 3 or 4 different times in the same sentence. It's pretty great.
It's a slippery slope on the old Caravella brain. Game Poke, Brad Shoemaker's here, rounding up latest releases.
Howdy, Wilbur. That's reference to plays, I'm sure.
Wilbur. How's that carrot do? You won't believe how they make Brad's lips move.
Look, Mr. Ed was a show that aired many, many years before I was even born, and thanks to Nickelodeon, I have seen every fucking episode of that show.
Yep. They're good. Okay, that is a weird question, but we talked a little bit on Never Been a Better podcast about anime and kind of like Toonami bringing that stuff over. And
Mr. Ed is not anime.
And you sure prove me wrong. Are there places doing that today that are not just the internet, that are just like cable channels that are like, hey, here's this block of old shit that we just play on continuous loop?
I want to say Nickelodeon still does Nick at Night stuff, but like because of the amount of time that's passed, it's like sitcoms from the 80s.
Oh my god, really? Is it like Full House just playing on there?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never I don't watch late night Nickelodeon because I just can't live that life anymore. But I will say I do think those blocks exist. I don't know who's watching them that is under the age of 60 though.
Is there a Cartoon Express? Can I watch Hanna-Barbera?
I mean, the Cartoon Network does still exist.
Okay, Cartoon Network still exists.
So all that stuff that they own the rights to, like the Hanna-Barbera stuff, theoretically is still airing on there.
I forgot they bought that. Cartoon Express.
Son of a bitch.
That was Cartoon Express, yeah.
Yeah. All aboard that weird monorail train.
All aboard the monorail train to the Mr. T cartoon and Turbo Teen.
Yeah, right. Scarring kids for generations.
Yeah, I mean, look, Mr. T wasn't that bad.
The Mr. T cartoon or Mr. T?
Well, either.
Yeah. Mr. T cartoon was pretty rough.
He was just hanging out with gymnasts. It was fine.
It animated pretty poorly.
It was garbage. Yeah, but I mean, it was, he was doing good stuff.
$10,000 per frame. Brad, did you watch any of that stuff? Did you have cable growing up? I feel like I should know this answer.
Cable. Early 90s, maybe?
Okay, that's close enough.
But you were in, like, early teens at that point, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Were you like
what cartoons did I watch?
Yeah, were you like a Sesame Street household, like PBS on all the time?
I did. Come on, man.
You come from a family of teachers, right? Like
it was the 80s.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of non-stop animated toy commercials.
Okay. It was G.I. Joe.
It was G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Constant rotation.
I love my action figure shows as much as anyone, but I also watch Sesame Street.
Yeah, of course. I saw some Sesame Street. Some, Electric Company, maybe?
Sure. Yeah.
Pinwheel.
What else?
Eureka's Castle.
Schoolhouse Rock. I think I was like some Rats and Doug. I watched just a lot of stuff before I sort of aged out. Those were the three.
Was the dog, Scrummy the dog, or the cowardly dog?
Squinting at you.
Something the cowardly dog.
Courage the Cowardly.
Cowardly Dog?
Courage the Cowardly Dog? Okay, yeah, that's the one probably.
I don't know if that was a Nickelodeon thing.
It wasn't? He was
I don't know. I do remember that.
And the aliens would always come. And then later on, there was like Dexter's Lab. That might have been Cartoon Network. Maybe that was Cartoon Network.
Fucking finally. This is such a crazy maze.
These live action kind of kids, like Hey Dude. Yes, that's literally where I was going. Goofy drama, like goofy comedy.
Salute your shorts.
Hey Dude and Salute Your Shorts are the two that I think of.
Pete and Pete.
Yes. Yeah, Pete and Pete is in there, sure. I never saw as much of that.
I feel like Pete and Pete was a different caliber.
Yeah, yes. What's Donkey Lips up to these days?
Crypto.
Probably.
Hardcore crypto.
I think he's fine. Or in jail.
Yeah. Where was Donkey Lips? In early January.
But so you got there basically when the real Nickelodeon original programming was starting to boom, and not when they were just pilfering literally from Canadian kids television. Yes. Okay. Well, actually, gosh.
Post Pinwheel. A post Pinwheel world.
This is some good stuff.
We got cable a little earlier. I definitely saw a fair amount of You Can't Do That on Television.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, they were rerunning that thing forever. Yeah. Fair.
Prod Smacker.
The Muffy the Mouse.
The fuck is that?
The security guard and the mannequin that becomes real.
Special delivery.
Special delivery?
Today's special?
Today's special.
Today's special, that's right.
Special, yes.
Special delivery was their branding for whenever they would just need to throw on like a like oh what the fuck is short that girl's name the child actress, the singer from Very Young.
Alanis Morissette.
No, long before that, way before that.
Cindy
Lauper.
Redhead, curls, like cute girl, like what is her deal? Why don't
Tiffany.
you know her name?
Tiffany.
The good ship.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that weird little moppet. Yeah, like so they would just throw one of her movies on in the middle of the day and be like, special delivery.
What is her name?
Shirley Temple.
What is it?
Shirley Temple. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, they went way back.
Look, we're old, but we're not that old, okay? I think Miss Temple is probably long past, right?
I can name half the cast of You Can't Do That on Television. I couldn't fucking remember Shirley Temple of all people.
Shirley.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I couldn't equip this.
Black Ant, look out!
She was born in like 20. Yeah. But then, yeah, they were airing stuff in the middle of the day when they had nothing else going on, and so I have actually seen some Shirley Temple movies because I had nothing else going on.
Great, good work.
How's that going for her?
Czechoslovakia loves Shirley Temple.
I don't think Czechoslovakia.
The other two black ants you didn't even know were there.
Just Shirley Temple. The one thing keeping Czechoslovakia.
Yep.
Is Shirley Temple.
Wait. Oh, I did get that achievement. Okay. I'm so stupid.
Video game bucket has spilled over, and they're just all over the floor. Games that are out, games that are coming out, games that have been in development for decade.
There's so many games they're inventing games to put in the games that are coming out.
Tons and tons and tons of games. So let's just jump right in and start with a game. Alex, you're mentioning here UFO 50, a collection of 50 games never released but never fakely released in the 80s.
Secret fake games. Making this dumb joke yet again. 50 and 1 game cards are back.
That's right. There we go. Your UFO. Everybody remembers the UFO 50, right? Everybody had one.
Sadly, this does not come with a knockoff PlayStation controller, but nonetheless.
Amusingly, though, this does not at all present itself as one of those.
Like, as one of those garbage.
Right. Like this thing it's from Mossmouth. It was developed partially by Derek Yu of Spelunky, but also a number of other developers. To be clear, it has been in development for ages.
Ants moving with purpose.
It's awesome. It's finally out, but yeah, like there's nothing about it that presents itself as one of those shitty mid-90s like 101 games in one NES cards bootleg things. It's more like it's like a meta historical collection.
Yeah, it's like a Games with Gold style thing.
Yeah, it's presented like chronologically based on this fake developer that didn't exist, developing for a fake console or computer. It's not clear.
I think it's it looks almost like an Apple IIe or something.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Oh man, actually, it would have been better to come out the other side.
Would you say more of like a C64 feel?
Yeah, a couple of the very early ones definitely do.
Let's see if it's nighttime. If it's nighttime, I'll stay out
Christ
here.
_dance.
Oh, what's up, Christ?
Christ _dance. Said, is this your fave game?
Yeah. Yes. I just set up this
Christ
chat.
_dance. Said, how long you have been playing this game?
Oh, I don't know. I started playing it in early access. There wasn't a lot to it back then, but I've come back to it and I'm really enjoying it. Is the can you hear my chat, my speech to text to speech chat? And if so, is it too loud? Do I need to make adjustments?
Christ _dance. Said, I'm thinking of playing this game, but it is hard to play. Christ _dance. Said, where are you from, BTW?
I'm from Alabama. Where are you from? I wish this game had like you could just join my game. That would be cool. But that's not how it works, unfortunately.
Christ _dance.
Oh,
Said,
nice.
I'm from Florida.
That's not far from me. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you know that. I don't even know why I
Christ
came here.
_dance. Said, ha ha ha, come on, have a coffee from
Yeah.
my side. Christ _dance. Said, come to FL.
Maybe I will. Take all. Oh, cause my. That's why I came here. Okay, to dump some stuff.
Christ _dance. Said it would be glad for me.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Christ _dance. Said, apart from stream, what do you do for work?
I'm a digital artist. What about you?
Christ _dance. Said, I'm
Oh,
also.
wow.
Christ _dance.
That's really
Said,
cool.
LOL, how insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, there we go. Yeah, but this game is really fun if you're thinking about getting into it.
Christ _dance. Said, would you like see some of my war? Christ _dance. Said, work.
Oh, thank you for the follow, by the way. I don't want to put that there.
This doesn't specifically say like what the constraints were, but I would imagine they were like, you know, like
Christ _dance. Said, do you have Discord?
No, I don't have Discord. Wait a second, I just realized something. I gotta go to this thing over here because I got like 8,000.
Christ _dance. Said, can I do something dope special for you?
For me, like what? Creature rugs. Naturally, I want this. Oh man, okay, so I still need like 8,000 more of these.
you know, there is a love for CRT because of some of the, you know, some of the way that stuff renders on a CRT, and there is a CRT.
Christ _dance. Said, custom seed panels.
Oh,
starting soon screen.
I see what you're getting at. Yeah, I don't have any like spare income. I'm sorry.
So these games kind of range from, I'll say they're mostly 8-bit era to put kind of a
yeah, that's a general flavor. There's a little bit of like modern retro feel to some of them, but then by and large, none of them. Like I'd say of all the ones I played, like almost all of them seem like they could absolutely exist on an NES hardware.
And they kind of as you're going through them, they're presented in
Build trail marker. How do you do that?
they're grayed out, so they kind of do give you incentive to just chew away and plug away at each one as you kind of unlock path they're taking in the development of the game. Certain characters have their first appearance, certain concepts have their first.
Right about now.
It's like, this is the first time we were able to utilize this, the first time we were able to utilize that. And they do get more complex, the games, as you kind of move forward. I was going through, I did about the first 2 rows chronologically, and then I started skipping around. Like Brad said, these are full games. Like you could sit here and just kind of be like...
They're full retro games. Like, none of these are like, 1,000 hours long, but like, there's, they are complete in the style that they are built in.
Yeah, like the word coming out of some.
What are the where can I find gnats? I need to go murder some gnats. I feel like there's some over here, maybe.
I didn't find that one yet. I was looking for it.
Yeah, I am doing what you did, and I guess stopped doing, which is also chronological, which is cool to see the arc of history that they created. It's bad for podcast discussion. I can't talk about the later games. But
Do you know about how far you've got?
I'm still in the first row.
First row, okay.
But I played a number of the later games at Summer Game Fest.
Alex, you know about how far you got as well? Still first row? Because you could spend a bunch of time in any one of these games.
I think I got into the second row. I'd say I'd probably finish around, or not finish, but I played a substantial amount of about 15 of the 50 games.
I feel like I hear a gnat.
I kind of spent a fair amount of time in the first game, Barbuta.
Yeah.
Because it's very Dark Souls. Like it is, but it does feel like one of those NES games that inspires something like Dark Souls, but it's a little side-scrolling dungeon crawler that just incoming. No explanation of anything.
Yeah.
I think Christ left me. Where is gnats? What is that?
Off the bat, like navigating around, like you've got a bunch of item slots and no idea what the items are going to be or where. It's very much a just throw you in there and hey, this is hard, figure it out. Right. Kind of thing.
No water filtration tablets needed.
About, like, what if I just played this to completion? But it's very hard and inscrutable.
I kind of feel like, so unless I've missed it, most games will give you the controls and a brief description, but they don't necessarily tell you the mechanics of the game. So like a lot of games will just be like, hey, I think almost all of them are 2.
Neither did a lot of games from that era though.
Yeah. But they had manuals. They would be like, hey, here's here's what you're gonna do when you come up against something. There was one of my favorite ones early on was the one where you list it's something like Morta something where you're
Mortal. I liked Mortal.
You can be
Okay.
You can like wedge yourself into a wall, or there was one other power.
Yeah, it's the explode.
Explode, yes.
Yeah, and so you get a limited number of lives, as with any game, but it's like 20 lives to start, and you have to finish a stage basically without running out of lives, and every time you do one of those abilities, it sacrifices one.
Yeah, that was a cool one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that one's cool.
It took me a minute to figure out what the hell I was doing, right? Like, what is, the people stay when you go. Paint Chase is another early one. So it's really interesting to see some of these. There are modern game concepts kind of crammed back into this old hardware where you're like, oh, it's Splatoon, but it's but it's kind of pushed into this older hardware.
That's exactly the thought I had playing Paint Chase. Although, I mean, I'm sure there were games that did similar stuff like that, but I also immediately thought of Splatoon when I played it. Because you're in a little car, driving around painting everything, but there are other cars painting the other color, and you have to kill those cars and paint back.
Yeah, and it's a territory control thing. Bushido Ball, which is basically Windjammers. Yeah, it's like a old school Windjammers.
Yeah, like
Camouflage is fun.
Obviously, online play is way out of scope for this thing, but I was gonna say there's some great names in here. The Tactics is the first one that comes to mind. Also, Kick Club.
Yeah.
Bushido Ball. Warp Tank. Anyway.
So which one was the Tactics?
Tactics was the one where you have the two sides.
The big infected coming.
Units, and basically every after it's like a power grid essentially, but basically you're trying to
Piss off.
and you also have to use your soldiers to defend against what the other team is sending your way. And that one is very simple but devious, and it's exactly the kind of tactics thing that made me forget, oh right, there's like 9 other games I need to be playing right now.
Yeah, I remember that one. I spent a decent amount of time in there. There is an actual tower defense game. It's the Rockin' something. What is the name of this one? Let me see if I can find it, because it might be later. So Rock On Island is an actual tower defense game where it's kind of, you set up your defenses and then release the dinosaurs. Golf,
That's
the
interesting.
golf one, Golftopia, whatever, is like a golf area. It's a weird golf RPG kind of thing. The RPG might be a bit of a
I thought there was like a ton of gnats.
There's a full-on Metroid in here.
I bet.
You would think so for the appropriate era, for sure. Because if there is, that might be the kind of thing I would actually play all the way through, potentially.
Mooncat is maybe one of the weirder ones I played. The controls are super weird. The whole left side of the controller makes you run left. The whole right side of the controller makes you run right. So even if you push right on the D-pad, you're running left. And then to jump, you have to push both sides at the same time. And then push them again, I think, to do it. The controls are super funky. But out of all these games, I did jump around to get to...
Jump around!
One of the last ones to be like, okay, how far do these go? What is the technology we are going to end up with? Does it go 16-bit? Where are we going to end up? They don't. They kind of stay in their 8-bit range. But they're lame. Pilot Quest. You should load that one up because it's an idle game, and you want to basically, it uses your system clock or something runs in the background where you can start your quote-unquote farm, and then you'll come back and you'll have a bunch of gems. So
outside the game.
Outside of the game. Because you start the game like, okay, you need 50 gems in the first thing, and there's just like this gem generator you can hit in the middle of the screen. You hit it, you can plant the farm, and that generates a gem. You can plant 2 farms. But suddenly you need like 2,000 gems. You're like, dude, that's gonna take me like an hour of hitting this stuff. And if you realize or read the description, it says like, oh, one of the first games to utilize the system clock to work in the background. And you can close the game and come back, and you will be generating currency. So, gotcha. So that's one maybe you want to jump ahead, just start up, and then come back to, and hopefully have some currency.
That's cool. I'm on the Wikipedia page. This game's been out for like 3 hours, and they already have like a pretty comprehensive list of all the games and what they are.
I know, I just need an image. I need like box art.
It turns out Vanger or Vanger, V-A-I-N-G-E-R, is a Metroidvania.
Okay.
Number 29.
I did not try that one yet. What is the name of the adventure game?
The Shadow Gate?
Yeah.
I did not see that one at Summer Game Fest. I want to say it's in the back third, maybe, of the list, if I remember.
Okay. I do want to. I was looking for that one.
Alright. So I'm looking to see how to get...
I do want to check this out. I mean, this is impressive. Yeah. Look, I played some of these games and I bounced out of them after I lost all my lives.
Complete Burgle's list of quests.
With the Ninja, I played a bunch of.
Yeah, that was one that was very hard. I got on the board.
That one was tough. Planet of Zoldath seemed like one I could spend some time in, but I just didn't like that you have to release items to get other items. Like you get one item at a time. So
I thought Bug Hunter was pretty cool. It's the second game in the whole list. It's like a grid-based strategy game.
Yeah.
Where you have like a budget of moves. You're just moving around this grid, killing aliens basically, and picking up energy to buy more moves with.
Yeah.
But that's got multiplayer. That's got head-to-head.
Local.
I thought was neat. Yeah, local.
Like all of these,
like just pretty smartly designed for being fairly simple.
So I think it's a really cool package. It's $25. You can get it on the PC.
50 cents a game. It's a great deal.
It's a great value.
Deal any way you slice it.
But it's only on PC now.
Yeah. Yes, it is only on PC right now. It's this is a no-brainer for the Switch. Obviously, if you have Steam Deck, you can play this.
The gnat.
It seems like a great portable. Being on a trip, on an airplane or something, you just pull it out and play a couple games.
Tail Hoops said, "Are you playing Pete?"
Yes, I'm playing Pete.
mess with that, I should have just input some text to see what
I did. Nothing happened. Like so, if you go in the achievements in the game achievements, there is an achievement for entering a working code. I don't know. Like my real hope, which I don't think is going to.
Oh, so this is cool.
Yeah, same. I mentioned that to them when I saw it at Summer Game Fest, and they kind of demurred on it a little bit. But not in a way that like, well, just wait until it comes out and see what you find. Like,
Kill a stink bug.
I feel like they were hinting at anything.
Like it doesn't need to be.
Okay, so that's cool though.
I don't know if you'll get some codes or do something or find a code in the game, or that's just stuff that'll happen outside of the game. Like the fans will find it.
I don't care about the dailies.
Editor in the game when you go to that thing.
Yeah, if you, I don't know if you care, but there's Pete.
I didn't go do anything with it really. I just kind of.
How could you tell I was playing Pete? You just recognize the voice. Craft Weevil Shield, craft canteen, build a storage chest. All that crap is garbage, and I've done it dozens of times. I don't like killing the weevils. I'll be honest.
But I sampled them, and I think that's how a lot of people.
I feel like usually there's a weevil around here.
Yeah, at least at first. I mean, you know, you're just going to want to try a little bit of everything. I mean, again, a tactic is the only one that I've really spent substantial time in because it just hit a part of my brain that's like, you need to be playing this right now.
Yeah.
But I've liked basically everything else I've tried. It's just none of it has really stuck with me yet.
Like any of them could be a game from this era. I feel like
There's one.
Like they're all
pretty high quality. There's enough of them though where you're like, all right.
A weevil shield.
Yeah. All right. That is UFO 50. That is out now on the PC. Like I said, $25. Before we get into our break though, Brad, I want to hear about Dead Rising Remastered.
Yes, that is the game that has been eating my life.
How's that thing going?
I'm of two minds on it. Dead Rising is still great.
Okay.
This is a pretty good remaster.
You gotta have 4 of those?
The thing I was not prepared for is how
Man.
much it still feels like the original game, though. Like,
What about a
graphically, it's
canteen?
a really good-looking remaster. Generally, like the characters are like modern-looking video game characters. Like some of the environments in spots, like the mall looks really good. Like this intro on the helicopter, you know. Some of the outdoor stuff is like, this looks a little last gen. But it's more like the feel of the package. It very much feels like a nice-looking code.
Man, 4
Like it still
weevils.
still loads every 30 seconds through cutscenes, you know. All the animations and like movement stuff feel really similar. It's just a vibe thing, and it's kind of hard to quantify. But it very much, especially with like the loading, and the loads are like 2 seconds long now. Like there is a progress bar, but it's like the loading screen barely pops up, but it does like bisect cutscenes, you know, all the time. So it very much feels like the original game's still running under there.
Alright, so I wonder if,
Dude, you know, you're a big Dead Rising fan, right?
Yes, I love those games. I think 2 is my favorite.
I was gonna see if maybe I could scan that, this thing.
Any kind of repulsion to the new Frank West?
I'm torn. He's fine in a vacuum.
Okay.
But I went back and I pulled up like a playthrough on YouTube to hear what's the guy's name? TJ, the original voice actor for Frank.
Yeah, I don't remember the
Like,
name, but yes.
I think if this change hadn't been a thing, like if we didn't already have an attachment to the original, everybody would be like, yeah, totally, this guy sounds fine. Yeah, this guy makes sense as a kind of sleazy, opportunistic photojournalist. But there's a certain quality to that original performance where he sounds.
Okay, I just need one more.
Sure. Does that make sense? Yeah. Spaced out. Where I really find myself missing that original performance, even though I think the new guy is fine. The take on the character is slightly different.
And is there anything different with the actual core mechanic in terms of
a ton of stuff.
Okay.
I actually have been sitting here. The Rising fandom wiki has a comprehensive list of stuff.
Okay.
It's like I'm trying to think where to start because there's so much of it.
Saving.
So this is funny. I went back and looked at the GameSpot review, which turned out to be written by Alex, which
it was.
For some reason I thought I reviewed that game, but it was you. And then I watched your video review. You spent like half that video review talking about how awful the save system is.
I did not love it the first time around, I will say, and I still, to this day, like, I mean, look, I think there's something novel about it, but I found that thing really vexing.
Well, so, I mean, I think it was two things there. I mean, there's the timer stuff, which most people know about at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like, the game works on a real-time timer. You've got 3 days to explore them all, do all your shit. If you miss the main story quests, which are timed, you effectively lose the ability to finish the game, quote-unquote, and you start over. But you keep all your XP and ability unlocks and stuff. Like, I kind of realized this game is basically like a roguelike before we were using that term, basically.
Yeah, sure.
Now that I've gone back to play it some more.
Very long run, in a roguelike.
And as everybody knows, of course, like a lot of the side missions also are timed and overlap with each other, so you can't do everything.
And like certain survivors, like, right, you've got to pick and choose.
And that's all fine. I really like that aspect of it. The thing you were complaining about the most, though, was that it there's no autosave and you only have one save slot. So, A, you can either lose a shitload of progress if something goes sideways and you had forgotten to save, but B, the bigger one, I've actually even run into this with the saving improvements.
Is that a Weevil?
You can save yourself into a bind where you're basically screwed and have to start over.
I think that happened to me twice while I was reviewing.
Yes.
I said that in the review. It's very easy to save yourself into a corner where you can't get to the next story mission before it expires.
Wait, is that telling me how many I have or how many I got? Because that's... Okay, it's how many I have.
Save slots now. It auto saves every time it loads, basically. So every cutscene, every time you go through a door.
There's another one.
That means it saves right before every psychopath. If you get a cutscene there.
The nose. No.
Psychopath is as simple as just starting the fight over right where you were 5 minutes before. So the save stuff is super modern in that way. They've modernized the controls a lot. Like, you can move while shooting now. Stuff like that, which makes the gunplay way easier in that game.
I would have to imagine so, yeah.
Some of those early fights with is it Carlito, the guy's name that shoots at you with a sniper rifle a lot and stuff. The guy early on.
I wish I
Like,
could
and
remember the names.
There's a lot of characters are pointing sniper rifles at you in that game. And you can just kind of juke back and forth behind a corner with a gun pulled out and just dodge their shots and shoot them. Now it's actually like kind of super easy. You can pick the original controls if you want to subject yourself to what it was like before. There's a bunch of stuff in here that I never even would have noticed if I hadn't looked at this wiki and then went and looked at footage. Like the inventory management is a lot better. You can kind of see your whole bar now. I didn't remember that they didn't show the durability on any of the weapons back in the day.
A storage chest.
Yeah, everything's just got a bar on it now, so you can see exactly how durable something still is.
Okay.
There's a bunch of stuff, like they've improved the survivor AI supposedly, which I found them to be pretty competent for the most part. I'm trying to think, like you can have more of them with you at one time now. A big one is they've added a whole new affinity system for survivors.
What does that mean? A storage device built to suspend food spoilage.
Okay, like weapons and stuff?
And they have an affinity toward you, kind of usually starts out with a frowny face, and the more you take care of them, the more happy they'll get with you.
Okay.
Which apparently makes them fight better and stuff. That was kind of weird because the survivors are never really with you long enough.
I was just gonna say, once you drop them off, they hang out at base, right?
Yeah, by and large, I'm always just as soon as I've got a survivor, I'm just booking it back to. I mean, I stack them up. In fact, I've brought 6 or 8 at a time with me a couple times here, which I'll get to because that actually leads to my biggest gripe with this thing. But I guess you could, because you can tell them where to stand. I guess you could try to make it. Well, that would be tough to finesse with different survivors. You could make it so you dropped some of them off to get the XP, but kept others with you.
They go to the grate or the elevator or something, right?
Yeah, you have to take them back to the security room through that vent on the room, or on the roof. Sorry, but it would be tough to keep survivors with you rolling around a lot of the time. To make use of that affinity system, it's a cool system, but I feel like it's kind of shoehorned in a little bit. I'm trying to think what else they have. It's a ton of little stuff, like the camera. They've added a bunch of camera stuff. You can pick up parts for your camera now.
Oh, his camera, Frank's camera.
Yeah, because you're taking all the in-game photos, so you can get a flash for it.
I could devour a Billy Horse right about now.
It's the same as it always was. Oh, you mean the new parts?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not that I've seen. I think it's just a way to further look at the age of photo modes. I think it's just a way to make cool looking photos.
Is there PP?
Oh yes, so that's where this thing is kind of breaking down for me a little bit. I've been playing the shit out of it. It's kind of too easy.
Oh.
And like Dead Rising was not a friendly game. It was pretty punishing.
Yeah.
And some of that was bad. Like some of that needed to be fixed or shaved down a little bit, which they have here. But like this wiki, literally the first item is prestige points are now gained at a faster rate, allowing you to level faster.
Oh.
And it absolutely feels that way. So I just did my first restart. I had gotten to, I think it was the beginning of the third case file. Remember the games like broken case files?
Oh, those are all the same.
There's 8 case files. I made it to like the beginning of the third case file and had to restart and was running out of time.
Okay.
Basically, 20 minutes into my second run, I am level 31 out of 50 already.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So I didn't even get halfway through my first run on the story and then restarted, and I'm just to level up.
Can you run on top of the zombies' heads now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that an hour in.
Can you suplex a zombie?
Yep.
Okay.
Got all that stuff.
All right.
I've got
What
most
kind
of the
of suplex?
I've got most of the melee moves at this point. To be fair, like I ran out of time on the main story because I was rescuing so many survivors.
Yeah.
It's possible that to some small extent I did this to myself because, like I said, you know, if you bring 8 survivors back with you, it's worth like 3 levels.
So you were almost like grinding.
Yeah, well, it was less grinding. It was unintentional.
Okay, time to go back to here.
Case file was like, oh, you have no. That's when the next one starts.
Oh, I see.
It's hard to explain. I kind of screwed up.
But it's an exploration.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Something I thought.
Ant spotted!
looks good from here.
Just run around in your car, run over zombies in the parking garage. Did you get to that part yet?
Yeah, but no, not close. I mean, I've kind of poked my head in the parking garage, but
Okay. No Mega Buster yet?
right. But the point is, like, A, I kind of screwed up the timing of the case files, but B, arguably, I was doing too much of this other stuff. Like, I was very much treating it like this exercise in time management, multitasking. Of like, how many of these can I get at one time? How many plates can I spin here and still keep it on the rails? And obviously, I failed at that eventually. But like, I guess it's possible I'm over leveled because I've been trying to do so much side stuff. But
That's how I would want to do it intentionally.
right. Like, I'm playing it like I would.
I feel like I'm holding my head in a weird way. Grinder.
Later levels it'll take longer to level, so maybe this will even out a little bit. But like, I actually consider increasing my safe starting.
Some of those psychopaths at the end, I remember being
They're pretty rough. That's the other thing. I don't think I died on. Oh, I did die on one psychopath, the lady cop, and the lady cop who was holding a bunch of female hostages. Remember? Right. Yeah. I did die on her.
I didn't get my flower parts back.
I forgot that was a psychopath. I thought it was just a regular.
It doesn't matter. I don't fucking need it.
outside in the car.
Oh yeah, fuck those guys. They still suck, but they haven't killed me. It's the thing.
Oh, really?
I don't know if they've balanced damage on the psychopaths or not, but those guys.
And then, oh, aphid slippers, which I don't want to kill aphids.
But like the clown, the veteran in the hardware store, the chef hop, not the chef yet. The cult leader.
Alright, I gotta go kill 2 aphids.
Like a half psychopath. I can't remember. Did you ever fight him himself? Like they kind of fought the all the cultists after that encounter. I can't remember.
I thought you did, but again, it's been a long time.
Yeah, although it's funny going back to this. Like,
Hey, Finn.
Dead Rising came out 18 years ago.
It did. Very long time ago.
Normally, you don't remember a game 18 years ago, but because of the way that game is built, and because, especially in the original version, which was much harder, you started it over repeatedly. Like, I've seen so much of this stuff so many times that I remember all of it. It's like, oh my god. Like, remember Kent, the shithead photographer you meet right at the beginning that, like, challenges you to the photography competition? All that kind of stuff,
I think I might remember where the katana is on that ledge in the mall. That you can go jump up and get pretty early on.
Find that, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like on like a little ledge that you can kind of climb up to and get pretty early on.
Yeah, but that's what I love.
Can I kill my pet? I'm just kidding. I would never kill my pet.
Cracking it open and exploiting it, like learning all its tricks. So, like, that's why I wish this game was harder, because that's the whole arc and satisfaction of Dead Rising is figuring it out and getting over it, Yeah. On it, it's like, like this game is kind of brutally hard.
Aww. Poor little guy. I had to do it though. There's an achievement at stake.
Do you keep your magazines for like durability?
No, you'd have to look at those up.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, you lose all inventory. It's just your level and
So you have inventory spaces.
no, you keep your expanded inventory, like extra health, like speed,
Okay.
like all that stuff. You have to get everything again.
That's cool. That's cool.
Like my memory of even playing the original is eventually you kill the clown, you get his mini chainsaw, or actually is there a double mini chainsaw?
He's juggling, isn't it?
The one he drops for me so far is just one. I feel like maybe you can get 2 at some point.
I don't remember.
At any rate, you know, eventually you get the mini chainsaw and like 3.
Oh, there's a flower parts. They went through the ceiling.
Kind of solve it anyway. This is just making that happen so much faster. Like I said, I've just kind of breezed through most of the psychopaths, so I'm just leveling like crazy. Maybe it needed an original difficulty mode, like an original, because they do have the original classic control scheme, like classic, level pace, and classic damage balancing and stuff like that. I think I would have preferred.
This isn't coming to, and there's no announced, and I'm not sure Capcom does this as much, Game Pass version of this, right? Is there? I feel like that's right. I kind of want to see if I want to play this, you know? Like, I want to dip in and be like, oh, yeah, I'll keep going, or be like, no, it's not.
Yeah, it's weird. I had a weird moment with it where like
We're gonna find a stink bug.
This just feels kind of old. This just feels like an old game because it is. It looks much better. But at some point, it super got its hooks into me, and I was like, there's still nothing quite like this out there, and that really bums me out because
Tally Hopes is like, he's playing Pete. Fuck that guy.
like this, yeah, clear, not like 4 when it was getting more kind of westernized.
$50.
Yes.
You think this is them just testing the waters to see, like, is there still money out there in this franchise?
I sure hope so. Just about nothing would make me happier in video games than for Dead Rising to become a like thriving franchise again with new games.
There's crowd tech. I bet you can do some really interesting PS.
Alright, so
Series X crowd tech.
Yes, for sure. I mean, I would even honestly, I'd even be happy if they just gave this treatment to Dead Rising 2 as well, because I do miss the item crafting with the combo weapons.
Sure.
Dead Rising 2 are so much fun. Chuck Norton is such a fun.
He's a good character.
Protagonist for the entire world to shit on constantly. Fucking Rebecca. Yeah, I'm having a really good time with it. I do, like I said, I wish it was like pushing back a little more because that's what I want out of Dead Rising.
Let's get your magazines, get your chainsaw, and go rip some zombies up. Put some cones on some heads, kick some guys in the butt.
I'm considering whether to get they don't call it zombie genocide, it's zombie annihilator now.
Okay, oh, that's fair.
You know,
they've like changed some of the achievement names.
Dead Rising got woke. First it was the zombie virus, then the woke virus.
Yeah, I didn't get into it, but like they've removed the erotica category from the photography.
That's interesting.
Pictures of boobs.
Yes, I really think it's a net negative for a couple of reasons. Like I feel like it really plays into the sleazy photojournalist thing. For him to just be taking the most shitty opportunistic photos everywhere. I think they should have expanded it. They should have just made it. They should have just put erotica zones on every character.
Yes.
Because there's only 4 categories now. It's brutality, horror, outtake, and drama, I think. So like, you know, there's not a lot to that little minigame thing.
oh, that's an orb waiver.
Take one of the 5 categories out. Just makes it even less interesting.
Petey's sense is tingling.
Is it not?
Don't call it my Peter sense. Or Peter Tingle. You bitch.
There are a bunch of the environment stickers you take a picture of.
Yeah.
They're like collectibles. Those are one time.
Where the fuck am I going?
I'm glad they made it. I hope they do 1 for 2. I hope they make new Dead Rising games. I hope they don't continue to make them this easy.
Look, there are games. Maybe I'll hit that rate. Maybe next time we talk to you, you'll be like, I take it back. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I was reading about it this morning, and like, there's not that much game there if you don't have the repetition.
I don't know where stink bug is. I can find one. I think I know where to find some.
6 hours long if you just go through it.
Yeah, 6 to 8, I think.
Without any of the restarts. So there's not that much game there if you just breeze through it on your first time. Like it's just gonna be kind of over very quickly.
Why do I remember sitting drinking orange juice in the office for like a whole time? Is there like a thing if you just sit there for 72 hours and don't do anything, like an achievement?
I don't know.
I remember something where I was just like sitting in the room just drinking. Yeah.
I do feel like I remember there being some goofy achievements in that game. I don't remember that one specifically. But
I mean, a lot of this is very much a time and place thing. Like I remember that game just like taking over the GameSpot office. Like all of us were playing it and loving it, marveling at how weird and stupid it is. But also like that was the first game that I remember doing interesting things with achievements.
I'm gonna do a Red Soldier ant.
That was like less than a year after like King Kong at launch giving you all the achievement points just for playing through the game once. You know, like nobody knew what to do with achievements early on, and then this game came out and they made you kill 53,000 zombies for an achievement. They gave you the best weapon in the game. It's like okay, like these are actually getting interesting gameplay challenges.
Totally. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. $50, I assume, on all platforms. Yes. Out as of the time of this official posting. let's take a quick break here. We've got plenty more games to talk about, so we'll take a quick break and come back. And we'll hit the rest of the games we've got to stick around.
I don't know if that's what I was supposed to do.
This week's show is brought to you by Babbel. Alex Navarro.
Yes, Vinny?
I've got a second language story, quick story for you.
Okay.
Fit into here. My wife walking around her town, walking the dog. What does she hear?
A mounted bug trophy.
Do you speak Italian? Fast forward, they go on walks every day, or not every day, every weekend, and speak Italian together because this person was just looking for somebody who could possibly speak Italian and want some companionship in her town.
Wow.
Yes.
The power of language.
The power of language and social connection, and Babbel can help you get there. You probably know what Babbel is. It's the app that you use to kind of help you to a second language. They've got quick 10-minute lessons that are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove Babbel is better. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. And if you haven't heard, college, pretty expensive.
Not cheap.
Not cheap. You can access more than 13,000 hours of learning content. You can browse more than 20,000 classes offered every month. And if you want live classroom stuff, they've got that for you as well. And you can do it on your schedule. I have Babbel. I've used Babbel. I continue to use Babbel. I learn at my pace. You can do it Babbel.
I did not know that you could do this.
Well, how can I learn at my own pace, Vinny?
Well, here's a special
Do I have a stink bug head?
deal for our listeners.
It's a firefly.
50% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners. Don't share this with anybody else unless they listen to this podcast. You can go to babbel.com.
Mosquito, antlion.
That's 60% off at babbel.com/nextlander. That's BABBEL.com/nextlander. 60% off. Rules and restrictions may apply. Thank you, Babbel. And we are back. I got a handful of things. I was out. Didn't get a chance to talk. The deep talk about Astrobot. What a game. What a product.
Yeah.
I finished it up. Got all product. What's that?
What a good product.
What a good product.
We're all about product here.
Got my platinum. Done. Got all my bots. Yep.
Man. Nice. Yeah, I see a lot of people getting platinum for this. It must be fairly accessible.
It's not so bad. There's a couple I had to look up, but
Are there hidden bots?
hidden bots. I mean, they're all hidden.
No, I mean like beyond the 300 that they tell you about.
I think there's one. I think there's one. I think there's a 300 one. I think. Okay. But PlayStation has that thing now where you can just reveal a trophy. If you're like, what is this trophy? And be like, just tell me what this trophy is. Okay. One I have to look up. But yeah, fairly. Challenging enough to get the platinum, but not too bad. It's
A jerky rack. I still don't know what that is.
much about it last week. I couldn't put it down. Breezy, it's well done. It's a fantastic platformer. It'll absolutely be on a top 10 list for me. Where, I'm not sure, but it'll be there somewhere.
Listen, Balatro is going to be a tough nut to crack for me this year, but it's hovering in that top 3 area for me right now.
It's great. There's so many bots I just have to go look up still and be like, where are you from? Who are you? Why are you here? Because I just don't know. I don't know.
Right, because they won't tell you specifically. They just give you vague descriptions.
I kind of wish they did.
We should have done a bot quiz.
Oh,
It's too late now. Too late now because we've all looked it up and everything.
I haven't looked them up.
It'd be fun to sit there and try to figure out what the obscure ones are.
I didn't look them up yet, but I probably will. I was trying to explain to my kids why they don't, and I couldn't quite say, like, I don't know if they don't have the rights for everything, but I can allude to it without having to get rights for a bot, but...
Gosh, wasn't there something that wasn't approved? I feel like there was something...
What kind of shit can you grow in this garden patch?
Didn't want to.
Oh, yeah?
Spades, and this other thing is not in there or something.
Okay. So,
I'm pretty sure they would have.
or maybe they're just being cheeky then, and they just don't want to say it outright. But there's definitely, at some point, I wish one of the things you never get in the Platinum was just a codex where you can just be like, what fucking game are you? What game are you from? But they're fun, and getting all their little dioramas are fun, and the levels are well made, and it is just a tight platform. The extra stuff, some of that stuff gets challenging. I think the hardest thing is the face button planets. Those, last one of those definitely took me I was having a tough one some of the time.
I didn't finish a couple of the ones in the second. I'm only on the third Galaxy still, but even a couple of those challenge levels in the second Galaxy, I still need to get back to the ones. Yeah, because some of them were stiff.
So there was one in the end there where it's the last one after you get all the face button challenges, and it's just, you don't even play a thing long enough where you start to be like, is this me or is this you? There's a thing where like you can't tell with the camera, the way the camera automatically sets up where something is relative in space, height or low, and you jump over it, and I kept getting hit by it. It's there's that chameleon fucker who like shoots a bunch of rapid fire shots and anyway, that's
Oh, yeah.
a lot of trouble. Kept dying there a lot. But I was happy the kids watched me. I had their support and their love, and we finished Astrobot. They love that game as well. Love to watch it. So that's Astrobot. And it's,
I'm looking forward to seeing how it wraps up.
well, I enjoyed it. Fun little like last final chapter. What else?
Real quick.
Yeah.
The stink. No, that's not a stink bug.
For how third party they get with a lot of those, like Final Fantasy VII is like the exclusive for the PlayStation for the third party.
Yeah.
So not having any of that does seem a bit eyebrow raising.
Yeah, I kept expecting like some Cloudbot on there, but nope. Well, at least not that anybody I recognize. Maybe there's a Mystic Quest character stuffed in there, but it sounds like maybe.
No, there is just straight up no Square Enix representation anywhere in that game, and it's just like, of all the publishers to bow out of a PlayStation related thing, like that's kind of a wild.
Put the bounce.
A lot more analyst stuff coming out this morning about those recent PlayStation Final Fantasy games underperforming.
I did see that as well.
Maybe Square's got some sour grapes.
That's not Astrobot's fault.
Toward the platform. No, it's not.
Man.
Mr. Ant. Jumping into more Star Wars and Star Wars Outlaws. I want to play that game. I'm kind of just idling right now, waiting to see what happens with any kind of patches and further content updates. The devs kind of out there being like, you know, yeah, that some of that stealth stuff sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
A lot of games.
Pretty sure they don't do that. How's my health? Okay. Fuck! I might have bitten off more than I can chew.
Light up the night sky, Firefly.
Okay. feels very old Grand Theft Auto, like very old, like 20-year-old.
Yeah.
To have a penalty like that every time you get caught.
I don't know if I've gotten caught in an Imperial base yet. I've only gotten caught. I got caught in the Crimson.
There's a stink bug.
The faction. I got caught in the faction's bases. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna keep going because it's insta-fail stuff.
That might just be.
Dying to the Imperials in particular.
I think it's everybody because I died in like a abandoned pirate camp at one point. Like I got to the point where I was just like save scanning. Save every time I finished anything.
That's Star Wars Outlaws. I'll go back to it. I think I'll just see what's going on. Did you see fucking Baldur's Gate? I did not play Baldur's Gate. They said they were done, and now they're doing another. They're like, we're not quite done yet. Like, dude,
just leave it. Just leave it.
You give me shit for it all the time, but absolutely the best way to have an experience with a video game these days is to play like a year or two after.
I mean, that one in particular, where it's like, are you adding more in the? If it's mechanics, I'll move on. Are you adding more in the narrative department? Are you touching this anymore? I kind of blew my mind. Or I thought maybe like, are you gonna sneak in 2024 rules as a mod somewhere? Because they did add that mod. I jumped into a little bit, just a tiny taste of Wild Bastards to see what that game is about.
How wild is it?
It's kind of wild because it defied my expectations a little bit.
Because it's not just Void Bastards,
It is
right?
not Void Bastard. Void Bastard's kind of very, I mean, if I say it's a run-based shooter, that's not too dissimilar from
It was a first-person run-based game where you explored space junk and tried not to die.
So this is very Western.
Aw,
you know, with
allergies.
and stuff. But the VO is extremely
Oh.
going to go get them, and where'd it go? Stuff. So very Western there. But you have a map you come to, and there's two maps. There's the kind of overworld map where you're in a spaceship, and then there's the mission.
Gotta build a bed.
And it's a little board game-like when you're on the ground, where you have a certain amount of moves you can take, and then enter into a fight if you want. So imagine a series of path on the ground. You have like 5 moves. One of the spots is like an upgrade, and then further along is an encounter. And along the map, the enemy is also moving. It's turn-based kind of. So you have 3 or 4 turns. You can move, and then you end your turn. The enemy moves and will encounter you. But
it's kind of an Oregon Trail.
A little bit. But then when you're in an encounter, the weird thing is you can pair up in groups of 2, bunches they call it. And each character is kind of like a first-person Overwatch. Each character has their own unique abilities, and you can swap characters with a key stroke or button press. So, like, for example, one of the characters has a shotgun, and this ability, it's called Roulette, which kills a random enemy. And the other character I was playing has 2 revolvers, and their ability is like a clone, like a decoy. And you kind of, on these little map encounters, you get enough resources to use your special ability or get a rage. You could be behind cover and a guy could be running up on you. You can just quickly switch to instead of switching weapons, you switch characters to the shotgun guy and blast the guy coming around the corner. Switch back to a long range guy and take people out. It's a weird mechanic.
What is your other person doing?
Okay, I've got the fire. No.
They're not running around. No. It's AI or anything. No.
Got the red ant helmet.
You're like, you got this, and then you teleport in, and you're like, yeah, it's a little funky.
Weird. So they're not even like.
I have that.
On the map until you're playing them.
No, and the maps are
Red.
The encounters I've played so far, and again, I'm pretty early on, are pretty small.
Ant Negro. Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Killing like 5 or 6, maybe 10 guys at a time. And again, you have groups of 2, so you can pick your pairings, and then kind of go start exploring that on the planet map with your pairs of people. It's a cool setup. I kind of like the story so far. They do jump in a little front. You kind of have to pick up the story as you're moving. I thought maybe I missed some stuff in the beginning. I don't understand your world, people. But you get it pretty quickly. I like it. I didn't think I would. But after spending some time with it, it's bite-sized enough where I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is
sounds kind of neat and also like very different. I kind of was just expecting like, oh, are they just making boy bastards but in the Wild West this time? It does not sound like that at all.
No, and you do get upgrades and modifiers per the map you're on, and when you leave the map, those all reset. So your currency resets. So you're doing everything in the level, like building up a run in a level, and then you are kind of moving on and starting from scratch for the next.
Can't wait to see what they do in the further installment of the long-running Bastard series.
Bastards. Or Behind the Bastards.
Well, there's so many bastards to choose from.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
So that's Wild Bastards. It's $35. I think it's on everything. I was actually pleasantly surprised. If you're interested in it, you should watch a video or check it out because it's actually kind of a unique little system there. As I was talking through it, I did realize that instead of changing weapons, you're basically changing.
This is for my friends.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun to check it out. The other thing that is pretty cool is Warhammer 40K's Space Marine 2, the sequel. This one I've played
Hilbasa.
a decent amount of. This game is much more cooperative focused than I thought it was going to be.
And then Aqua Gills. I think that's what it was. Oh, Liquid Gills. Water flea meat, tadpole meat. Dude, that sucks.
Which is cool because I think the campaign is pretty fun so far. But it's much more like, oh, all right, you should probably pair up to get the real experience here. I haven't looked up yet.
Let me go back and see what I need. 5 liquid gills, so I need 5 water flea meats and 5 tadpole meats.
Hey, Finn.
Gonna run to the restroom, and I'll be right back. Alright. 5 tadpole meats and 5 water fleas.
Catch up and see what's going on. What's the newest heresy flavor in 40K? It's just a dumb universe. And if you remember what their roots are, remember you're not the good guys. You can enjoy it. There are no good guys. You can enjoy it.
It's like, what flavor of fascism would you like? We have some.
Oh yeah.
gnarly Space Marine faces floating around. Some rugged-looking characters, let's say.
Nobody's happy in the universe. But the dark yes. Blue light comes on, get ready to parry. When the red light comes on, get ready to dodge. I haven't had much trouble with that stuff. Yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. And I'd like to see how it works out in Call of Duty.
The first one's just kind of a Gears clone, right?
Yeah.
With more melee.
Yeah, very single player focused. Yeah.
Or something different developer, different era for that matter.
Yeah. In my mind, that game was very tight, a very tight single player experience. This is a little looser, a little more.
Those things are disgusting.
More multiplayer things where it's like, the door is closed, let's defend the thing for 5 minutes. They're attacking this thing that's blinking. Don't get them off of that. It's objective. Yeah.
There's a lot of.
Well, so you're fighting Tyranids, they don't talk.
Oh, right, of course.
The bugs, but that, again, that might change that. Fully expect chaos, but I don't know. There's always chaos. It's always fucking chaos. No matter what's happening, it's always chaos. Space Marine 2, gonna play some more of that. That's the one that's basically taking my time. And then the one that I'm not sure where it's gonna fit on my schedule is the 1.0 release of Satisfactory. So again, decade in the making, probably more.
Now listen.
Yeah.
I never played this game.
Oh my
Obviously watched you play.
God. I got something I can scan.
Fun time. I was able to get into it pretty quickly, especially
Water flea meat.
when you took us to your planet that you have been playing with your friends for several months, years, however long it is. That was gobsmacking.
The factory
amount of shit that has gone into that planet.
So that's the thing, like, we reached, and shout-outs to them, we've reached the end of the early access, and they've added more to that game, but the prospect of doing that again is kind of dark.
But you're gonna do it, right?
Like I really came out of the stream thinking, like, man, maybe I'll just get up Saturday morning and start a game at Satisfactory. Like, maybe I should run a dedicated server and all of us can play. But seeing that late game save kind of put me off of that idea.
Well, I think the dedicated server where you jump in and other people are doing work in there is probably the way to go.
That's probably the case.
I've run a dedicated server. I don't know how it runs in 1.0, and I don't know if I've run. No, I did run one since they switched over to the new engine. I don't know the 1.0 stuff. Some people in our chat were saying it's fine.
It's way better, actually.
Dedicated server.
We're talking about this. So not only is the stability better, I watched a video on this. They have shaved the memory requirements down for the server like dramatically.
Oh, that's cool.
Some foliage thing. Like, they actually went into some crazy amount of detail about like the working foliage system, which dropped the memory footprint by like half.
That's great.
Yeah, like it sounds like all the server hosting stuff is way better.
So the thing that I was looking for in Satisfactory, I was keeping an eye out for two things. One was the story stuff, which I don't think we actually saw.
I might just make that thing that keeps shit fresh.
The second were the alien artifacts, which were in the early access, but they did nothing. Now they power a bunch of new tech you can get later on, and they add really kind of substantial boosts to late game stuff, which I'd be curious to check out. I would probably do another factory. It's just, it's a real time for me. I think ours was like about 200 something hours of building, and that's 3 people who are very good at what they do. The best. But it's fun.
It's a lot.
Whoa!
It's fun though, when I saw your stuff.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the tadpole meats.
It's kind of
Gotta go analyze this fin.
I'll go take care of plastics. I'll see
been a while since I've analyzed anything.
I actually was really bummed when we hit the end of our thing. It was just like, oh my god, what do we do now? And then some schedules changed. And we'll see. We'll see if I can get that crew back together. Not I. They.
Oh yeah, there's my fifth one.
They honestly didn't want it to work. You know, I was there to hang out. And that's all. Satisfactory 1.0. It's out. It's real. The road to Satisfactory 2 starts now. Coffee Stain, I feel like they've gone through a lot of changes and put out a lot of other stuff at this point. So we'll see where that company's at. I wonder what the sales of Satisfactory 1.0.
Oh my god. I didn't know I had this. Canteen Plus.
Yeah, that's where I have it still. It's done well. So I wonder how that game sells once it comes out. If you're like, everybody who has wanted this game has bought this game. Or if you're like 1.0, there's like +5 sales or something. You did it. I was waiting.
Man, it's so hard for me to remember that is the Sanctum developer.
Oh.
Sanctum was that like first-person tower defense-y multiplayer kind of game.
Jeez.
They came to the office. It was their first game. To show Sanctum.
Oh yeah, I was trying to look and see where I had my iridescent scales.
This is my thing. I didn't expect you guys to then turn around and make like what is probably one of the biggest games going outside of like the actual big ones right now. From the beginning.
And you're killed him. Alright. Speaking of small devs, I'll just mention this. Small devs, everything's relative. Helldivers, did you guys see that Helldivers update?
I saw there was one, and it was causing some stir, but I wasn't sure what it was.
Alright, so then I can go here. I just need 4 water fleas.
And it's just the two of them just sitting there with printouts of the notes on a couch going through it. It is very funny. They are just like basically, this used to be 100, now it's 1,000. This used to be 300.
They finally learned the rules and always balance it up.
Yeah.
Just always make everything more powerful and people will be happy.
They were like, what did they say that really made me laugh? Flamethrowers. They were like, flamethrowers. We prided ourselves on having the best, most finally wanted powerful flamethrowers. And we lost our faith, and we got off the track, but we are back on flamethrowers are powerful again. I hope people are happy with it. I've been playing through a lot of that almost every week with my family.
Nobody's happy with anything, Benny.
It's just true, happier. So we'll see where they wind up. It seems like they have made a lot of things very powerful. They've scaled up some of the health on some of the big critters and robots, but it seems like they have tried to bring everything up to be as powerful as the most powerful things and not bring stuff down to be as powerful as the least powerful.
Yeah, of course, I mean, something like Dota, PvP, they're balancing everybody up, but they're fighting against each other with balanced up stuff, so it works out. It feels like a PvP game. But they're trying to have to keep fighting the enemies to compensate.
So they've done some interesting things according to their patch notes, and the way they put it is, you know, because they balance things like armor, weak spots, and then general health, right? So like this weak spot is now less armor, but the health of the enemy is
Okay, I just need to kill 4 water fleas, and then I'm out of here.
to take on an armor enemy, which I think was a thing that they were trying to get at, was when you had those big chargers or something, there's really like 3 weapons you want, and now more weapons are viable because you can chew up the weak spot.
That's cool. That sounds fun. I wonder how far off
There's one of those stupid, ugly bitches.
They're just keeping the lights on with that thing, and I mean, considering how so live service stuff is these days, I think they are just happy that they're maintaining and keeping a solid, strong player base, and no matter how much people yell about it, people are still playing that game.
Yeah, there's been a lot of yelling. But yeah, I haven't been on there in a while, so I don't know if they're Reddit's happy.
Yeah, not a chance.
That is Helldivers 2, just some updates there. Big patch that came out, like major rebalance. So, I don't even know if it's fair to call it a patch. I think that's the games for right now. There's a lot
So
to
I
chew
did
on.
download one other thing.
Yes.
There's not much to say about it because, I mean, what is there to say? But Ark Arkansas has come to American Truck Simulator.
I saw that, yes. New DLC.
The very funny thing was that it was part of a bundle with one of their other DLC things, and by buying the bundle, it was cheaper than buying the state itself, so I took that. It was like $1 cheaper.
The other states already?
I did have, well, I had all the other states, but a piece of DLC was not state, it was like a farm version or something, so. Let me tell you, I drove to Arkansas.
Yeah. Arkansas.
I saw a lot of gas stations.
Okay.
And trees. They're okay. So this is their. They just put out Arkansas. They're next to Iowa and Missouri.
Okay.
You have to do these states.
They are
If you're gonna do
states.
the whole country, you gotta do them.
They're states.
This is a rough patch. If you are looking for, let's just say, the most picturesque and interesting parts of the country.
Beautiful Missouri. Beautiful Arkansas.
You know,
Oh,
Missouri
that's 4.
has a couple of cities that I think are notable. Iowa.
The heart of America.
Yeah, I know.
The heartland. The heartland.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, I don't.
I don't know if I've been through Iowa.
I had a friend that lived in Iowa that we were stopping off when I was doing one of my cross-country trips. I mean, look, I'm sure it's fine. I'm just saying, there's not a lot to look at. This is what I am talking about. I'm not talking about the people that live there, any of that. I'm talking about the what am I seeing when I am driving.
Corn.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've got Kansas and Nebraska for that.
You're late to the game, Iowa.
Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking, like, maybe I can horse trade a couple of these states for maybe some Canadian provinces or something. That's how.
Maybe it sounds like a good place to race your truck through in a multiplayer trucking race.
Are they going geographically?
I mean, it's not a direct, like, east to or west to east. Like, they kind of hit a point, and then they started branching both east and north.
But are they always like adding a state that at least borders something?
Yes.
They're like
It is always touching another state.
Yeah, they're building out a continuous map.
Yeah, which is the right way to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Texas is already in there.
Just gotta get through those flat Midwest states before you can
Get to the really juicy stuff on the East Coast. Yeah.
You think they sound like the Northeast and everything?
I am of the opinion that when they get to the smaller eastern states, they'll probably and then New England would be its own region. There's a distinct possibility maybe they would package the Carolinas together or something, like the two Dakotas or something.
Oh.
Beyond that, I feel like considering Arkansas is its own.
What am I doing?
I feel like if there is a decent enough
Aquatine. Liquid Gills.
Florida is definitely getting it.
And I probably have to go to the kitchen.
Look, man, anything to get that wheel plugged in, alright?
American trucks. Alright, that's gonna do it for the games. We're gonna take a break. We actually got
What are these, smoothies?
oh man, things are just happening.
The thing that makes smoothies is right here.
Stick around. Alright, we are back and it is time for the news. And oh, what's that sound? Brad Shoemaker.
Switch siren.
Nintendo Switch 2 watch. Hot incoming. What's
Some intrepid leaker on Chinese social media.
Feel a little less squishy now.
they're saving? What's new in the new Switch watch?
These images landed like moments before this podcast. I think there's other stuff going on this week.
There is, yeah.
Nothing too crazy going on this week, but here now we have a marquee story. The first purported images of the Switch 2 have landed. Now, again,
An acorn turret. That'll be easy. Armor dummy.
Important to say that at the time of this recording, no confirmation from Nintendo. Right? This is still
absolutely. Yeah, they would never comment like this. They're not.
What the fuck is a super duper? Armor dummy. What is an armor dummy? That was a weird way to say something. I think it's gonna be over here. Not here, but the one to the left.
Yep.
So a lot of
minor differences.
So a lot of these images are 3D models, mostly, like 3D model images of the console.
Yes.
But it looks like there's a couple of pieces here that are at least like form factor plastic and circuit boards that are either being assembled or made, used as demos.
There's two photos. One of them is of the inside rails of the Joy-Cons, which I feel like if you were going to take a picture of the new Switch, if you could only get one, that's the one to take, because that's where the interesting stuff with the magnets has been recorded and so forth. I mean, I certainly don't know exactly what I'm looking at, but I don't see any mechanical attachment there. There's no railing. Like
To slide in, right, yes. It's got some kind of funky thing at the bottom of it,
those,
like, right?
those,
By the
those
screw.
pads, pads sort of look like they could be magnetic, maybe. Not 100% sure what I'm looking at there. The other one, like you said, is just like the shells of the Joy-Cons and the top insides of the system.
Yeah.
But, let's see, what else have we got in front of us? There's one new face button, if you look. On the right Joy-Con, the basic layout is the same. Joy-Cons look have the same layouts, and the plus and minus buttons are the same. It's camera on the left, home on the right, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's an extra, there's the square camera button on the left, there's the home button on the right, and there's another square button.
Yeah.
It looks like it has a letter C on it. They're bringing back C buttons.
Maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe some new system level functionality that we don't know about yet. It's got what looks to be two USB-C ports. The one on the bottom, which would plug into the dock like usual, but another one on the top.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what that would be for. For what it's worth, it's right next to what appears to be a headphone jack, so it's the last company keeping headphone jacks alive. I don't know if a top USB could be for USB headphones, maybe.
Which image? You're looking at the bottom of the Switch?
What was the other thing, man? I already forgot.
You can see where the SD card, or actually, I don't even know if it's going to be an SD card, that might not be fast enough.
Oh, I see.
Acorn turret.
Switch with volume buttons and power and stuff.
Yeah, okay, right. I mean, these are pretty ratty images, so even say by 3D standards, it's like I don't know what this came out of, but this render resolution is not a production render.
It's pretty low, but that almost certainly is. Unless most hours are recorded that as an USB-C.
Okay, so in addition to the, again, like you said, the window, so maybe there's
just for charging a video out.
Maybe there's maybe it's so you can like pass through charge something else or expansion.
I'm not 100% sure.
Stop.
Peripheral support?
Yeah, maybe they can put a camera on the top for
Fits. Nature's lollipops.
maybe you know what? I'll say right now, wireless, because it's by the headphone jack, wireless audio. Like it's a proprietary wireless audio. That's not just Bluetooth.
Whoa.
Nintendo.
Yeah. People were like sort of hacking, but they were third-party USB-C dongles from the original Switch that lets you do wireless audio like that, but I think they always have a little latency involved, so yeah, maybe this is, that would be pretty welcome, like an optional. I mean, not as welcome as just building the system. Yeah, they just built wireless audio into the system to control it. But just add-on is better than nothing.
Because you need something, if it's going to be something that block the exhaust, block the the biggest thing though is it's a big screen.
Yes,
that's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest relief to me. And I guess there have been specs floating around for a few months.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beefy smoothies. I bet I could do that real fast.
So they've been saying like 8-inch screen for a long time anyway, but it's nice to just see it. It looks like maybe a little bezel.
Yeah.
The original Switch, I think we also launched Switch. It's got quite a bit of bezel on it. And it's a nice screen. It does not fill out the whole front of the face. Obviously, the OLED is way closer to that. This looks almost like an edge-to-edge screen.
So they show the two pictures here. That's the old one and the new one? Is that
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that
Beefy smoothie.
It's like the actual Switch and then
bigger screen.
Switch? I don't know what that is.
What is the beefy smoothie?
We're speculating a lot here because again, we don't really know 100% that these images are definitely, real. But and like none of this stuff is labeled, so it's hard to really discern exactly what every single thing is here. but the big stuff that you can see in it, like the extra button and sort of like the little, you know, it looks like a production model version of the magnet stuff on the Joy-Cons. Like, that's interesting. I just feel like there's not really a lot to gather here other than, okay, they are definitely making a new Switch and not something that is going to get wildly out of pocket.
Yeah, which I've seen a lot of hand-wringing recently about, like, oh, is it going to be another Wii U situation? Or are they going to follow up a success with another dismal failure because they tried to do something weird? Like, come on. So they have hit on the most winning gimmick in the history of video games.
Yeah.
With the Switch, they are not going to rock the boat.
And you know, I think there's probably enough appetite for a beefed up version of the thing you have, right?
Yes, for sure. And like, frankly, like, I mean, there might be an example of a game before the Switch, but the Switch, like, kind of created a whole new cottage industry, right? Like, there was no Steam Deck without the Switch.
I mean, maybe eventually.
Like, eventually we would have gotten to better handhelds for sure, but the Switch is absolutely the thing that, like, poured rocket fuel into the evolution of modern gaming handhelds.
I think that's accurate.
All the, like, Aya Neos of the world and all that stuff, like, that stuff all exists.
Let me see what a waft emitter takes.
So there's one other image here, and I'm kind of just kind of pivoting off of what you said, Alex. Again, this is a lot of speculation and rumor, and we're just taking these images. We're talking about them as if they were real, but the one that shows the back of the Switch, you can kind of see the back of the Switch, I think, compared to an original Switch. And it looks like there is a bigger kickstand that spans the width of it, but then you can also see the rails on the side look like they clip in from the sides and do not slide in. So it looks like there is no sliding mechanism.
Oh, I missed that, yes.
Yeah, it looks like there's just an indent in there where they'll just pop in, which is, yeah, that's probably the most interesting thing about this. I didn't see the magnets.
Yes, for sure.
Any chance, now bear with me, any chance this thing will sell without a dock separately, and they say you can use your old Switch dock if you
So that's part of the specs that leak out. I mean, these are the same specs that leaked a few months ago, but I didn't use them because there was no real substantiation. But it's starting to seem like all of this is pretty legit now based on reporting at different outlets. Like, for example, I should have just read this. I looked at this on Insider Gaming and also on Games Chronicle. VGC wording. While the images are unverified, one source who has not seen the final Switch 2 console but has been briefed on Nintendo's plans told VGC that the images match what the company has told partners to expect from its design. So the images and specs are basically consistent with what parties are hearing or seeing.
And it's kind of what's leaked out already.
And there's been leaking, yeah. And also these days.
Yeah, you can't keep any of this stuff under wraps anymore.
Yeah, so HDMI 2.1 is part of the spec list.
Oh, right, and then the story says the 4K dock, right? So
the dock, absolutely. Which actually, that raises questions about HDR support on TV or handheld or both. Is this thing going to do HDR? Like, it seems like it kind of should in processing at this point. Steam Deck is HDR.
Does it do HDR out as well? I assume it would just push it out.
I don't know about that.